You can call $100,000 into your life with your words. Yes, your voice holds the key to the wealth you have been praying for. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every word you speak is a decree that sets spiritual law in motion. The life you live today is not an accident. It is the harvest of words you have spoken in the past. If you have been speaking fear, lack, or defeat, you have been unknowingly commanding those very things into your life. But today, we will reverse it. Today you will learn how to speak words that call money, opportunities, and divine supply directly to you. Money is energy, and energy responds to faith. Your words are not empty sounds, they are spiritual commands that the universe is programmed to obey. Scripture says, "You shall decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you." That is not a poetic phrase, it is a law of creation. If you have the courage to believe and the discipline to speak with conviction, your words can bring into your hands $100,000 or more. Not through stress or struggle, but under grace, in perfect ways. For too long, many have been speaking against their own success. They say, "I can't afford that," or "money never stays with me." And they wonder why their life reflects their words. Florence often reminded her students, man is a spiritual broadcasting station, and all that he thinks and feels is broadcast. That means your words are shaping your reality right now. The good news is this: if your words created lack, your words can create abundance. If your words called in struggle, your words can call in miracles. In this message, I will teach you a decree, a powerful set of words, that you can repeat daily to align your mind and energy with divine supply. This decree will help you release fear, step into faith, and become magnetic to wealth. And it is not just theory, this is a spiritual law that has been proven time and time again. Florence's students manifested specific amounts of money, healed relationships, and restored their lives by speaking truth instead of fear. And today you will do the same. So listen carefully. Open your heart. Prepare to speak with authority. Because by the time this message ends, you will have words in your mouth that can unlock doors no man can shut. You are not powerless. You are the creator of your experience, and $100,000 is not far away. It is waiting for your command. Florence Scovel Shinn taught a truth so simple and yet so revolutionary that most people dismiss it. Your word is your wand. The words you speak are not mere sounds in the air. They are spiritual commands that shape your life. Every time you speak, you are sowing seeds into the invisible realm, and those seeds will always come back to you multiplied. Scripture says, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and Florence believed this was not a metaphor but a law. Just as gravity pulls everything down without fail, your words pull your reality into form without fail. Think about it: every invention, every breakthrough, every fortune began with words. Someone spoke an idea out loud, and that word became flesh. You were created in the image of God, and the first thing God did was speak. "Let there be light," he said, and there was light. If the Creator himself used words to bring forth creation, then your words carry that same divine power. Every word you speak is either building your future or tearing it down. Florence often compared words to boomerangs. Whatever you throw out comes back to you, sometimes quickly, sometimes after years, but it always returns. If you have been speaking words like, "I am broke," "I can never get ahead," or "money is hard to come by," you have unknowingly set those conditions into motion. Your subconscious mind, which accepts every statement you make without question, has been faithfully creating a reality that matches your words. This is why so many people feel stuck. They are trapped in a cycle of their own declarations. But here is the good news: you can reverse it. Just as a negative statement creates struggle, a positive statement of truth creates blessing. Florence said, every word man speaks is either a blessing or a curse. He must watch his words and guard his thoughts. The moment you begin speaking words of abundance with faith, your subconscious will begin reshaping your reality to match them. This is why this message is so important. When you learn to speak a decree with power, you are rewriting your destiny. Money, too, responds to words. People often treat money as if it is a lifeless object, but Florence taught that money is energy. It is a servant, and like any servant, it responds to commands. When you speak to money with respect, gratitude, and authority, it begins to obey. It flows into your life, finds channels to reach you, and multiplies. This is why wealthy people often carry a sense of confidence about money. They have learned to master their thoughts and words about it. The poor fear money, chase it, and speak as if it is elusive. The rich expect it, bless it, and command it to serve them. Florence believed that words are your most powerful currency. Long before a bill is paid or a door opens, your words have already paved the way. When you decree something, you are sending a spiritual order into the invisible supply house of the universe, and heaven responds. She often gave her students precise affirmations to speak daily, and they would report astonishing results. A woman would declare, "Large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways," and within days unexpected checks would appear. Another would say, "I have a perfect work in a perfect way," and a dream job would manifest seemingly out of nowhere. These were not coincidences, they were the result of spiritual law in action. The law of spoken words is simple but exact. What you consistently speak with faith will appear in your life. If you want $100,000, you must begin speaking as if it is already yours. You must remove fear-based language from your vocabulary and replace it with truth. Florence often said that man's word is his wand, and that every time he speaks, he waves that wand over his life. The question is, are you waving a wand of blessing or a wand of limitation? Beloved, today I want you to see your words as sacred tools. Your voice carries divine authority. When you say, "I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways," you are not begging. You are not wishing. You are commanding in alignment with divine law. The universe is not resisting you. It is waiting for clear instructions. Your words give it those instructions. This is why we will not just talk about wealth, we will call it. We will not just hope for money, we will summon it. Florence said that faith is the substance of things hoped for, and your words are the container of that faith. When spoken with conviction, your words are like seeds planted in fertile soil, guaranteed to grow. Today, you begin planting seeds of abundance that will return to you as $100,000, flowing from unexpected places, under grace, in perfect ways. Most people are not struggling because God has forgotten them or because they are not worthy of abundance. They are struggling because they are blocking the very blessings they are praying for. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of good." That means fear is not just an emotion. It is a creative force. When you live in fear about money, you are using the same spiritual power that could create wealth to instead create lack. From the time we are children, we are programmed with negative ideas about money. We hear phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," "We can't afford that," or "Rich people are greedy." Those words sink deep into our subconscious mind, and they create invisible walls between us and wealth. We grow up believing that having money is hard, that wealth is for other people, or that wanting more is somehow selfish. Without realizing it, we carry those beliefs into adulthood, and our lives reflect them. Florence taught that man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. If you see yourself struggling, even if you don't want to, that mental picture will continue to show up in your life. Many people pray for blessings, but they speak against those blessings with their words. They say, "I'll never make that much money," "I'm always broke," or "I can't seem to get ahead." Those words are not harmless, they are commands. The subconscious mind takes every word you speak as an instruction and begins creating experiences to match it. You are not unlucky, you are powerful. You have simply been using that power in the wrong direction. Fear also creates resistance. Imagine a river flowing with all your blessings, peace, wealth, opportunities, love. Every time you speak fear or doubt, you build a dam across that river. The supply is there, but it cannot flow because your words have blocked it. Florence often told her students to stop speaking of lack entirely. She would say, "You cannot enter the kingdom of abundance by talking poverty." She was not being harsh, she was teaching spiritual law. Your words are like keys. they either open doors or lock them. Another reason people block money is because they worship it unconsciously. They chase money with desperation, fear, and anxiety, and this energy repels wealth. Money is a tool, not a master. When you treat it like a master, it becomes something you are always chasing, never receiving. Florence taught her students to treat money with respect but not fear. She told them to bless every dollar they had, no matter how small, and to speak to money as a faithful servant that multiplies. The difference is dramatic. Fear pushes money away, faith draws it near. Many also block money because of guilt. They believe that wanting more is selfish, or that desiring wealth somehow makes them less spiritual. Florence shattered this myth. She reminded her students that poverty is not holy, it is simply a reflection of limited thinking. She said, God is supply, and man is the channel through which that supply flows. Wealth is not something to be ashamed of, it is proof that you are aligned with divine order. You cannot bless others if you are constantly worried about how to pay your bills. Abundance allows you to give, serve, and live your purpose fully. One of Florence's students struggled with this very issue. She had been raised to believe that being wealthy was wrong, so every time she came close to financial success, she would sabotage herself. Florence gave her a simple affirmation: I am one with the riches of God. Money is my servant, I am not its slave. The woman repeated it daily, and within months, she received a promotion and financial opportunities she never thought possible. More importantly, she felt at peace with wealth, because she understood that it was simply part of divine supply. Beloved, the enemy of your wealth is not the economy, your job, or your past. The true enemy is fear, filled thoughts, and careless words. If you want to call $100,000 into your life, you must change the way you speak and think about money. Stop saying, I can't afford that, and start declaring, I am richly supplied. Stop expecting lack, and start expecting miracles. Florence said, never use your words to describe your life, use your words to create it. The decree you are about to learn is not just a positive statement, it is a spiritual command. It will reprogram your subconscious, break the mental walls blocking your supply, and set money flowing to you quickly, under grace, in perfect ways. But first, you must choose to believe that wealth is your birthright, not a distant dream. The moment you change your inner language, your outer world will follow. The law is exact, and the shift begins with your words. Now that you understand why words are so powerful and how fear blocks supply, it is time to speak the decree that will unlock your blessings. Florence Scovel Shinn always gave her students exact affirmations, not vague wishes, because she knew that clarity and repetition activate spiritual law. This is not just a sentence. It is a command to the universe, a prayer of faith, and a key to open the doors of your supply. Find a quiet place. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Speak these words boldly, slowly, and with absolute authority. Feel every word as you say it. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways. Repeat it again, slower this time. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways. Say it a third time, with conviction. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways. Now, let us expand this decree into a daily declaration. Speak each line after me, and repeat every phrase 3 times. I am a magnet for money. Say it again, I am a magnet for money. Once more, I am a magnet for money. All that is mine by divine right comes to me now. Repeat. All that is mine by divine right comes to me now. Say it once more. All that is mine by divine right comes to me now. $100,000 is on its way to me now. Say it again. $100,000 is on its way to me now. Once more. $100,000 is on its way to me now. Money comes quickly, easily, and always under grace. Repeat, money comes quickly, easily, and always under grace. Say it again, money comes quickly, easily, and always under grace. I bless every dollar I have, and I welcome more. Repeat, I bless every dollar I have and I welcome more. Once more. I bless every dollar I have and I welcome more. But now close your eyes and visualize this decree coming to life. Picture yourself holding $100,000. See it in your bank account. Imagine paying off every bill, blessing your family, giving generously, and living in freedom. Feel the relief. Feel the joy. Feel the peace that comes from knowing you are supported. This visualization supercharges your words, making them magnetic. Say this next part with boldness. I no longer chase money. Money finds me. Money knows my name. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. Repeat it. No longer chase money. Money finds me. Money knows my name. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. Say it once more. I no longer chase money. Money finds me. Money knows my name. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. Florence taught that words must be spoken with feeling. Do not rush this decree. Say it slowly and with faith. The more emotion you put into your words, the more power they carry. These are not empty sentences, they are spiritual commands. Every time you repeat this decree, you are programming your subconscious mind to see wealth as natural, normal, and inevitable. Now, let us end this session with a final decree of gratitude. Speak this 3 times. I give thanks for the $100,000 that is already mine by divine right. It comes to me quickly, easily, under grace, in perfect ways. I am rich, I am free, and I am guided by infinite wisdom. It is done. It is done. Repeat it again. I give thanks for the $100,000 that is already mine by divine right. It comes to me quickly, easily, under grace, in perfect ways. I am rich, I am free, and I am guided by infinite wisdom. It is done. It is done. Say it one last time. I give thanks for the $100,000 that is already mine by divine right. It comes to me quickly, easily, under grace, in perfect ways. I am rich, I am free, and I am guided by infinite wisdom. It is done. It is done. Beloved, speak this decree every morning and every evening. Say it until it feels true. Florence said, words and thoughts are a form of dynamite and should be handled with care. When you speak these words, you are planting seeds that cannot fail. They will grow, and they will bring to you $100,000 or more, in ways that are perfect and filled with grace. The decree you have just spoken is a spiritual key, but a key must be used daily to unlock its power. Florence Scovel Shinn often said, a single affirmation may not open the door, but persistent affirmations will hammer down the walls of doubt. This means that if you will speak these words consistently and with faith, they will create results that no amount of effort or worry ever could. Let me show you exactly how to use this decree for maximum power. Step 1. Create sacred space each morning, before the noise of the day begins. Before you check your phone or answer a single message, take 5 to 10 minutes to focus only on your decree. Sit in a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Light a candle if you wish, play soft background music, or simply sit in silence. The goal is to make this time feel sacred because your words are sacred. You are not just saying sentences, you are commanding spiritual law. Step 2. Speak the decree aloud with authority. Florence taught that words spoken aloud carry energy that penetrates the subconscious faster than silent thoughts. Begin by taking a deep breath, placing your hand over your heart, and speaking the decree slowly. For example, say, Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways. Repeat it 3 times, each time with more conviction. Do not rush. Speak as if heaven itself is listening, because it is. Step 3. Visualize it as already yours. Close your eyes and picture this decree coming to life. See your bank account balance with an extra $100,000. Imagine paying off debts, helping family, giving generously, and living with ease. Feel the emotions of freedom, gratitude, and joy. Florence believed that visualization combined with words creates a blueprint in the spiritual realm. Once that blueprint is complete, the physical world rearranges to match it. Step 4. Anchor the thought. Throughout the day, carry this affirmation with you everywhere. Write it on a card or keep it in your phone. Anytime fear, doubt, or anxiety creeps in, Stop and repeat your decree. Say, I call $100,000 into my life under grace in perfect ways. This cancels fear and reaffirms truth. Florence said, fear is only faith turned upside down. By speaking your decree at the first sign of fear, you are flipping fear back into faith. Step 5. Practice gratitude in advance. Gratitude is the secret ingredient that accelerates manifestation. Begin thanking God for the $100,000 as if it has already arrived. Say, I give thanks for the $100,000 that is already mine by divine right. Gratitude creates a sense of expectation, and expectation draws blessings. This is why Florence often said, bless your current blessings, and they will multiply. Step 6. Use the evening to reprogram your subconscious. Before bed, repeat your decree 3 times slowly. The last thoughts you hold before sleep go straight into your subconscious mind, which works all night to create your reality. By ending your day with this decree, you are programming your subconscious to look for opportunities, connections, and inspired ideas that will bring this money to you. Step 7. Act in faith, not fear. Florence emphasized that faith without works is dead. This does not mean forcing opportunities or obsessively chasing money. It means taking inspired action. When you receive an intuitive nudge, a phone call, or an idea, follow it without hesitation. Your decree is opening doors. Your role is to walk through them. Step 8. Speak blessings over all you have. If you want money to multiply, bless what you already have. Each time you pay a bill, say, I bless this bill, and I give thanks for more than enough to pay it easily. Each time you see money, even a single coin, say, money flows to me in rivers of abundance. This creates a magnetic energy around your finances, drawing more to you. Step 9. Commit fully for 21 days or until it manifests. 3 days of focus will create an energetic shift, but 21 days will build unstoppable momentum. Florence encouraged her students to continue affirmations until it manifests, because the law is exact and does not fail. If you stay consistent, this decree will become your natural way of thinking, and money will flow easily. Step 10. Expect miracles and record proof. As soon as you notice even the smallest sign of progress, a discount, an unexpected check, a new idea, write it down. These are confirmations that your decree is working. They build your faith and create a cycle of expectancy. Florence said, never forget that every blessing is proof that the law is working in your favor. Beloved, this is not just about $100,000. It is about learning to master your mind and words so that you can call in anything you need. Use this decree as faithfully as you would breathe. It will rewire your subconscious, reset your energy, and send out a signal so strong that wealth cannot help but find you. The law is perfect, and your words are the switch that turns it on. Faith becomes unshakable when you see proof, and Florence Scovel Shinn loved to share stories that proved spiritual law never fails. She taught that every word spoken with faith plants a seed, and when watered with gratitude and expectation, that seed must grow. Her students learned that money is not withheld by God, but delayed by fear, doubt, and negative words. When they shifted their speech, miracles followed, often quickly, and often in exact amounts. Florence once worked with a man who needed a large sum of money to save his business. He was desperate, stressed, and losing hope. She gave him a simple affirmation, God is my supply, and large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways. She told him to speak it morning, noon, and night, especially when fear tried to overwhelm him. At first, he felt foolish, but he obeyed. Within a few days, an investor unexpectedly stepped in with the exact amount he needed. That money not only saved his business but expanded it. He later said, it was as if the money was waiting for me to call it. Florence also told the story of a woman who needed $5,000 to pay off a pressing debt. She had no idea where the money would come from, but Florence reminded her that God is never limited. The woman repeated daily, I give thanks for the $5,000 that is mine by divine right and comes to me under grace, in perfect ways. She said this with such conviction that peace replaced her fear. On the third day, a family member she hadn't spoken to in years called and offered her a gift, not a loan, but a gift, of $5,000. That single experience changed her entire perspective on money. One of Florence's most remarkable testimonies came from a man who was completely broke, but wanted to prove spiritual law for himself. She told him, "You must first see yourself as prosperous and speak prosperity daily." She gave him this affirmation: "I have a perfect work in a perfect way. I am divinely compensated for what I do." He repeated it constantly, visualizing himself living in comfort. Within weeks, he was offered a position he hadn't even applied for, with a salary higher than he ever imagined. He said, "It was as if the universe rearranged itself overnight." Stories like these are not rare. Florence's students saw miracles repeatedly because they learned to stop speaking fear and start speaking truth. She believed that money is obedient. It will always go where it is called, but most people never call it. They push it away with their words. She often told her students, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. If you see yourself in lack, you will live in lack. If you see yourself wealthy and call it daily, wealth must appear." There was another woman who wanted to sell her house. For months, there had been no interest, and she was discouraged. Florence told her to stop complaining about it and instead declare, "This house is divinely blessed and attracts its right buyer, under grace, in perfect ways." The woman spoke those words every day, thanking God in advance for the sale. Within 1 week, a buyer appeared, offering her exactly what she had hoped for. Florence explained that it wasn't the words alone, but the faith behind them that made the sale inevitable. Beloved, these testimonies are proof that your decree is not just positive thinking, it is a spiritual law. The universe does not resist your blessings. It is waiting for instructions. The words you speak send those instructions out, and they will never return empty. Whether it is $5,000, $10,000, or $100,000, the law does not measure amounts, it only responds to faith. If God can send money to a woman in 3 days, if he can bring investors to a struggling businessman overnight, if he can open doors that no man can shut, he can certainly bring $100,000 to you. The question is not whether it is possible. The question is whether you are willing to speak it, believe it, and expect it. Florence often said, "Nothing stands between man and his highest ideals but doubt and fear." That means nothing stands between you and $100,000, but the belief that it is too hard. Release that belief now. Replace it with words of power, and watch how quickly heaven responds. These stories are not reserved for a few. They are evidence that spiritual law is exact, unchanging, and available to anyone who dares to use it. Say this with me now. I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways. It is already mine, and it is on its way to me now. Speak it daily. Believe it deeply. Expect it fully. Because what God has done for others, he will do for you. Florence Scovel Shinn often said that every person carries an atmosphere, a spiritual energy field, that speaks louder than words. Your aura is not just a mystical concept. It is a real energy that surrounds you and draws to you whatever is in harmony with it. If you have ever walked into a room and felt someone's energy without them saying a word, you have felt their aura. Wealth, opportunities, and blessings respond to your aura in the same way. If your aura radiates fear, lack, and desperation, those things will continue to mirror back into your life. But if your aura radiates faith, gratitude, and confidence, wealth will seek you out. Florence taught that your aura is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and spoken words. Imagine your aura as a glowing field around you, a signal broadcast to the universe. Most people broadcast worry without realizing it. They say things like, "I can't afford that," or "Nothing ever works out for me," and their aura begins to dim. Even if they work hard or hustle endlessly, they still struggle because their energy is not aligned with abundance. This is why affirmations and decrees are so powerful. Every time you speak words of truth, your aura shifts. It becomes brighter, lighter, and magnetic. When you declare, "I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways," you are not only speaking to your subconscious mind, you are sending a signal through your aura. That signal reaches people, opportunities, and circumstances that are already connected to your blessing, and they begin to move toward you. Florence often said, "There is an invisible supply for every demand." When you make a demand with your words, your aura announces that demand to the spiritual world, and the law begins to respond. This is why aligning your energy is just as important as speaking the decree. You cannot speak wealth and carry the energy of fear. The two will cancel each other out. But when your words and your energy agree, miracles happen quickly. Florence taught her students to fill themselves with gratitude and joy before speaking affirmations. She told them to see themselves already in possession of what they desired and to feel the relief and happiness of answered prayer. That feeling radiates outward through your aura, and the world responds to it. Think of your aura as a magnet. A dim, fearful aura repels blessings because it signals that you do not expect them. A bright, confident aura draws blessings because it signals that you are ready to receive. This is why visualization is key. When you picture yourself holding $100,000, smiling as you pay off debts, and giving generously, your aura begins to reflect that reality. The more vividly you imagine it, the stronger the signal you broadcast. Florence often said that man's only enemies are within himself. That means no person, no circumstance, no economy can block your supply if your inner world is aligned. You are not at the mercy of external events. You are the creator of your experience through your thoughts, words, and energy. When you speak this decree with faith and hold yourself in an atmosphere of expectation, you become magnetic to wealth. Money begins to appear through unexpected channels because spiritual law is exact. Here is a simple practice to strengthen your aura. Each morning after speaking the decree, close your eyes and imagine a golden light surrounding your entire body. See this light growing brighter with each breath, radiating peace, confidence, and abundance. Say, "I am a magnet for blessings. My aura is filled with light. Wealth finds me now." Hold that image for a few minutes until you feel a shift. This golden aura becomes your shield and your signal, protecting you from negativity and attracting opportunities. Florence also encouraged her students to bless everyone they met. Blessing others strengthens your aura. When you silently say, "I bless this person with peace and prosperity," you send out a wave of good energy that multiplies and returns to you. This habit keeps your aura clear, preventing envy, fear, or resentment from clouding your signal. A clear, loving aura is irresistible to blessings because it aligns with divine order. Beloved, you are not just speaking words. You are changing your vibration. Each time you decree that $100,000 is already yours, you are lifting your energy field into harmony with that reality. Wealth does not come to those who chase it desperately. It comes to those who radiate confidence that it is already theirs. The more you repeat this decree with faith, the brighter your aura will become. People will notice something different about you, and opportunities will flow naturally because your energy is calling them. Say this now: "I radiate abundance. I radiate peace. I radiate wealth. My aura is a beacon of divine supply, and money flows to me effortlessly." Repeat it until you feel a warmth around you. That warmth is proof that your energy has shifted. When your words, feelings, and aura are in agreement, spiritual law has no choice but to deliver exactly what you have spoken, quickly, easily, under grace, in perfect ways. Now that you understand the law of words, the power of your aura, and the truth that wealth is already yours, it is time to seal this teaching with a decree that will anchor faith in your heart and set spiritual law in motion. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every declaration you make is like a spiritual seed planted in the garden of your subconscious. Speak this decree daily, and it will take root, grow strong, and bear fruit in the form of blessings, opportunities, and $100,000 flowing into your life, under grace, in perfect ways. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Speak these words boldly, slowly, and with conviction. "I am a child of the infinite. I was created for abundance, and I live in abundance now. $100,000 is already mine by divine right, and it flows to me now under grace, in perfect ways. I am fully supplied, richly blessed, and divinely guided." Say it again, louder and with confidence. "I am a child of the infinite. I was created for abundance, and I live in abundance now. $100,000 is already mine by divine right, and it flows to me now, under grace, in perfect ways. I am fully supplied, richly blessed, and divinely guided. Repeat it once more. I am a child of the infinite. I was created for abundance, and I live in abundance now. $100,000 is already mine by divine right, and it flows to me now, under grace, in perfect ways. I am fully supplied, richly blessed, and divinely guided. Now, let us expand this decree into a full command to your subconscious mind and to the spiritual forces that respond to your faith. I call $100,000 into my life now. I see it. I feel it. I give thanks for it. It arrives quickly, easily, and peacefully. I am not afraid, for God is my supply, and there is no limit to His goodness. This money is not hard to find, because it is already mine. It comes to me from expected and unexpected sources, and I receive it with gratitude and grace. I bless this money, I bless my life, and I bless every person who is connected to my blessing. Nothing and no one can block what God has ordained for me. I am ready, I am willing, and I am aligned with divine abundance. Repeat it again, this time with emotion. Feel every word as truth. I call $100,000 into my life now. I see it. I feel it. I give thanks for it. It arrives quickly, easily, and peacefully. I am not afraid, for God is my supply, and there is no limit to His goodness. This money is not hard to find, because it is already mine. It comes to me from expected and unexpected sources, and I receive it with gratitude and grace. I bless this money, I bless my life, and I bless every person who is connected to my blessing. Nothing and no one can block what God has ordained for me. I am ready, I am willing, and I am aligned with divine abundance. Now close your eyes, see yourself holding that $100,000, and let this final declaration seal it in your heart. Say it 3 times with full authority. It is done. It is done. Pause. Breathe deeply. Feel the shift in your energy. You have just activated spiritual law. Florence said that words are not empty, they are containers of power. When you speak them with faith, the invisible world rearranges itself to bring them to pass. This is why you must speak this decree every morning and every evening, not with doubt or desperation, but with calm assurance that what you have spoken is already yours. Here is your call to action. Replay this video daily for 21 days. Speak every decree out loud. Write your affirmation. I call $100,000 into my life, under grace, in perfect ways, and carry it with you. Every time fear or doubt tries to enter your mind, speak this truth immediately. Do not wait to feel confident. Speak until confidence rises. Faith grows with repetition, and your words will become your reality. Expect signs. Expect miracles. Expect doors to open. It may come through an unexpected gift, a business opportunity, a new idea, or a sudden shift in circumstances. Do not limit how God delivers it. Simply know that it is already yours. When it comes, bless it, share your testimony, and continue speaking life over your finances. Beloved, you are not powerless. You are a creator made in the image of the Creator. If He spoke the world into existence, you can speak $100,000 into your life. You have spoken the decree. The law is working now. You are magnetic, abundant, and unstoppable. Say this one last time with all your heart. I bless this day. I bless my life. I bless my future. $100,000 is already mine, under grace, in perfect ways. It is done. It is done. It and so it is.
I am bound to infinite abundance. I am bound to infinite abundance. I am bound to infinite abundance. As this candle burns, wealth enfolds me in her embrace. As this candle burns, wealth enfolds me in her embrace. As this candle burns, wealth enfolds me in her embrace. Prosperity flows to me like a river. Prosperity flows to me like a river. Prosperity flows to me like a river. Blessings flow from me like a fountain. Blessings flow from me like a fountain. Blessings flow from me like a fountain. Wealth is drawn to me irresistibly. Wealth is drawn to me irresistibly. Wealth is drawn to me irresistibly. I radiate the enchanting power of success. I radiate the enchanting power of success. I radiate the enchanting power of success. By word and flame, by will and heart, I bind myself to opulence now and forever. By word and flame, by will and heart, I bind myself to opulence now and forever. By word and flame, by will and heart, I bind myself to opulence now and forever. I am bound to infinite supply. An infinite supply is bound to me. I am bound to infinite supply. An infinite supply is bound to me. I am bound to infinite supply. And infinite supply is bound to me. Wealth surrounds me, wealth fills me, wealth flows through me. Wealth surrounds me, wealth fills me, wealth flows through me. Wealth surrounds me, wealth fills me, wealth flows through me. Ah, beloved, as this light burns, so does the flame of abundance within my soul. As this light burns, so does the flame of abundance within my soul. As this light burns, so does the flame of abundance within my soul. The river of prosperity flows without end, and I am seated on its banks. The river of prosperity flows without end, and I am seated on its banks. The river of prosperity flows without end, and I am seated on its banks. I declare with faith I am wealth. I declare with faith I am wealth. I declare with faith I am wealth. I declare with certainty I am prosperity. I declare with certainty I am prosperity. I declare with certainty I am prosperity. I declare with power I am abundance. I declare with power I am abundance. I declare with power I am abundance. Blessings enter my life with ease. Blessings enter my life with ease. Blessings enter my life with ease. Goodness finds me at every turn. Goodness finds me at every turn. Goodness finds me at every turn. Miracles attach themselves to me daily. Miracles attach themselves to me daily. Miracles attach themselves to me daily. I am safe with wealth. I am safe with wealth. I am safe with wealth. I am worthy of wealth. I am worthy of wealth. I am worthy of wealth. I am bound to wealth forevermore. I am bound to wealth forevermore. I am bound to wealth forevermore. As the flame continues, I say again I am bound to infinite abundance. As the flame continues, I say again I am bound to infinite abundance. As the flame continues, I say again, I am bound to infinite abundance. The universe holds me in its embrace of wealth. The universe holds me in its embrace of wealth. The universe holds me in its embrace of wealth. Ah, every breath I take draws prosperity closer. Every breath I take draws prosperity closer. Every breath I take draws prosperity closer. Every word I speak ties me tighter to abundance. Every word I speak ties me tighter to abundance. Every word I speak ties me tighter to abundance. Every step I walk is upon the path of riches. Every step I walk is upon the path of riches. Every step I walk is upon the path of riches. By word and flame, I seal this truth. By word and flame, I seal this truth. By word and flame, I seal this truth. I am bound to wealth. I am bound to wealth. I am bound to wealth. Now and forevermore. Now and forevermore. Dear universe, bind me to wealth. Dear universe, bind me to wealth. Dear universe, bind me to wealth. Oh, I am forever tied to prosperity. I am forever tied to prosperity. I am forever tied to prosperity. Abundance flows to me now. Abundance flows to me now. Abundance flows to me now. I am fastened to the river of riches. I am fastened to the river of riches. I am fastened to the river of riches. Nothing can untie me from supply. Nothing can untie me from supply. Nothing can untie me from supply. Neither, dear universe, hear my decree, I am joined to wealth. Dear universe, hear my decree, I am joined to wealth. Dear universe, hear my decree, I am joined to wealth. The golden cord of prosperity wraps around me. The golden cord of prosperity wraps around me. The golden cord of prosperity wraps around me. While I am anchored in divine supply. I am anchored in divine supply. I am anchored in divine supply. Dear universe, bind me to wealth now and forever. Dear universe, bind me to wealth now and forever. Dear universe, bind me to wealth now and forever. Prosperity is tied to my name. Prosperity is tied to my name. Prosperity is tied to my name. Abundance is sealed to my spirit. Abundance is sealed to my spirit. Abundance is sealed to my spirit. I am bound to riches under grace and in perfect ways. I am bound to riches under grace and in perfect ways. I am bound to riches under grace and in perfect ways. Every word I speak tightens the knot of wealth. Every word I speak tightens the knot of wealth. Every word I speak tightens the knot of wealth. Every breath I take strengthens the bond of abundance. Every breath I take strengthens the bond of abundance. Every breath I take strengthens the bond of abundance. I am joined to fortune. I am joined to fortune. I am joined to fortune. I am joined to prosperity. I am joined to prosperity. I am joined to prosperity. I am joined to endless supply. I am joined to endless supply. I am joined to endless supply. And dear universe, fasten me with chains of gold. Dear universe, fasten me with chains of gold. Dear universe, fasten me with chains of gold. Tie me to streams of silver. Tie me to streams of silver. Tie me to streams of silver. Allah, bind me to treasures unseen. Bind me to treasures unseen. Bind me to treasures unseen. Beloved universe, lock me into abundance. Beloved universe, lock me into abundance. Beloved universe, lock me into abundance. I am tied to overflowing riches. I am tied to overflowing riches. I am tied to overflowing riches. I am sealed to never-ending prosperity. I am sealed to never-ending prosperity. I am sealed to never-ending prosperity. I declare once more, dear universe, bind me to wealth. I declare once more, dear universe, bind me to wealth. I declare once more, dear universe, bind me to wealth. I am bound to riches in thought. I am bound to riches in thought. I am bound to riches in thought. I am bound to riches in word. I am bound to riches in word. I am bound to riches in word. I am bound to riches indeed. I am bound to riches indeed. I am bound to riches indeed. No fear can loosen this knot. No fear can loosen this knot. No fear can loosen this knot. I'll no doubt can untie this cord. No doubt can untie this cord. No doubt can untie this cord. No delay can break this bond. No delay can break this bond. No delay can break this bond. O dear universe, bind me to wealth with eternal strength. Dear universe, bind me to wealth with eternal strength. Dear universe, bind me to wealth with eternal strength. I am joined. I am joined. I am sealed. I am sealed. I am sealed. I am bound to wealth now and forever. I am bound to wealth now and forever. I am bound to wealth now and forever. Money is my faithful servant. Money is my faithful servant. Money is my faithful servant. I command money with wisdom, and it obeys with grace. I command money with wisdom, and it obeys with grace. I command money with wisdom, and it obeys with grace. I am a magnet of divine riches. I am a magnet of divine riches. I am a magnet of divine riches. Wealth is drawn to me by law. Wealth is drawn to me by law. Wealth is drawn to me by law. My name is written on doors of opportunity. My name is written on doors of opportunity. My name is written on doors of opportunity. Every door that opens brings me greater supply. Every door that opens brings me greater supply. Every door that opens brings me greater supply. I live as one already wealthy. I live as one already wealthy. I live as one already wealthy. I speak as one already supplied. I speak as one already supplied. I speak as one already supplied. I walk as one already rich in spirit. I walk as one already rich in spirit. I walk as one already rich in spirit. Money flows through my hands with joy. Money flows through my hands with joy. Money flows through my hands with joy. I bless my money, and it multiplies. I bless my money, and it multiplies. I bless my money, and it multiplies. I am trusted with wealth. I am trusted with wealth. I am trusted with wealth. The universe delivers riches into my care. The universe delivers riches into my care. The universe delivers riches into my care. I am wealth in thought. I am wealth in thought. I am wealth in thought. I am wealth in word. I am wealth in word. I am wealth in word. I am wealth in action. I am wealth in action. I am wealth in action. I am clothed in prosperity. I am clothed in prosperity. I am clothed in prosperity. I am crowned with abundance. I am crowned with abundance. I am crowned with abundance. Whilst I am seated in riches that cannot be taken away. I am seated in riches that cannot be taken away. I am seated in riches that cannot be taken away. I am the faithful steward of divine wealth. I am the faithful steward of divine wealth. I am the faithful steward of divine wealth. Money obeys my call. Money obeys my call. Money obeys my call. Opportunities find me without delay. Opportunities find me without delay. Opportunities find me without delay. I carry the fragrance of wealth. I carry the fragrance of wealth. I carry the fragrance of wealth. I carry the vibration of abundance. I carry the vibration of abundance. I carry the vibration of abundance. Aoi, everywhere I go, prosperity follows. Everywhere I go, prosperity follows. Everywhere I go, prosperity follows. Oh, I am the evidence of divine riches. I am the evidence of divine riches. I am the evidence of divine riches. Ah, beloved universe, I thank you. Beloved universe, I thank you. Beloved universe, I thank you. For I am wealth now. For I am wealth now. For I am wealth now. I am prosperity now. I am prosperity now. I am prosperity now. I am abundance now. I am abundance now. I am abundance now. Allah, I declare again, money is my faithful servant. I declare again, money is my faithful servant. I declare again, money is my faithful servant. I declare again, I am a magnet of divine riches. I declare again, I am a magnet of divine riches. I declare again, I am a magnet of divine riches. This is my identity. This is my identity. This is my identity. This is my truth. This is my truth. This is my truth. This is my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality. And so it is. And so it is. I bless the money I have, and it multiplies. I bless the money I have, and it multiplies. I bless the money I have, and it multiplies. Oh, every dollar I touch returns with friends. Every dollar I touch returns with friends. Every dollar I touch returns with friends. One, gratitude is the law of increase. Gratitude is the law of increase. Gratitude is the law of increase. I am grateful for the money in my hands. I am grateful for the money in my hands. I am grateful for the money in my hands. I am grateful for the money on its way. I am grateful for the money on its way. I am grateful for the money on its way. I am grateful for the doors that open. I am grateful for the doors that open. I am grateful for the doors that open. I am grateful for the opportunities that find me. I am grateful for the opportunities that find me. I am grateful for the opportunities that find me. Every gift I give returns to me increased. Every gift I give returns to me increased. Every gift I give returns to me increased. Every seed I plant grows in perfect time. Every seed I plant grows in perfect time. Every seed I plant grows in perfect time. I am grateful for today's provision. I am grateful for today's provision. I am grateful for today's provision. I am grateful for tomorrow's abundance. I am grateful for tomorrow's abundance. I am grateful for tomorrow's abundance. I give thanks for the unseen riches moving toward me. I give thanks for the unseen riches moving toward me. I give thanks for the unseen riches moving toward me. I give thanks for the miracles that money brings. I give thanks for the miracles that money brings. I give thanks for the miracles that money brings. The more I bless, the more I receive. The more I bless, the more I receive. The more I bless, the more I receive. The more I give, the more I grow. The more I give, the more I grow. The more I give, the more I grow. The more I thank, the more I prosper. The more I thank, the more I prosper. The more I thank, the more I prosper. I am grateful for the wealth I see. I am grateful for the wealth I see. I am grateful for the wealth I see. I am grateful for the wealth unseen but certain. I am grateful for the wealth unseen but certain. I am grateful for the wealth unseen but certain. Beloved universe, I thank you for surplus. Beloved universe, I thank you for surplus. Beloved universe, I thank you for surplus. And I thank you for overflow. I thank you for overflow. I thank you for overflow. I thank you for unlimited supply. I thank you for unlimited supply. I thank you for unlimited supply. My life is a storehouse of blessings. My life is a storehouse of blessings. My life is a storehouse of blessings. My path is paved with increase. My path is paved with increase. My path is paved with increase. Everywhere I look, I see something to be grateful for. Everywhere I look, I see something to be grateful for. Everywhere I look, I see something to be grateful for. I bless my money, and it blesses me. I bless my money, and it blesses me. I bless my money, and it blesses me. I bless my work, and it multiplies. I bless my work, and it multiplies. I bless my work, and it multiplies. Oh, I bless my ideas, and they prosper. I bless my ideas, and they prosper. I bless my ideas, and they prosper. I bless my future, and it shines brighter each day. I bless my future, and it shines brighter each day. I bless my future, and it shines brighter each day. Gratitude unlocks miracles. Gratitude unlocks miracles. Gratitude unlocks miracles. My heart overflows with thanksgiving. My heart overflows with thanksgiving. My heart overflows with thanksgiving. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. And because I am grateful, I am multiplied. And because I am grateful, I am multiplied. And because I am grateful, I am multiplied. By word and by will, I am tied to supply. By word and by will, I am tied to supply. By word and by will, I am tied to supply. Oh, no fear can break it. No fear can break it. No fear can break it. No doubt can shake it. No doubt can shake it. No doubt can shake it. No delay can deny it. No delay can deny it. No delay can deny it. I am bound to wealth now and forever. I am bound to wealth now and forever. I am bound to wealth now and forever. This bond is sealed in light. This bond is sealed in light. This bond is sealed in light. This bond is sealed in faith. This bond is sealed in faith. This bond is sealed in faith. Of this bond is sealed in truth. This bond is sealed in truth. This bond is sealed in truth. Dear universe, hear me. I am locked into prosperity. Dear universe, hear me. I am locked into prosperity. Dear universe, hear me. I am locked into prosperity. I am fastened to abundance under grace and in perfect ways. I am fastened to abundance under grace and in perfect ways. I am fastened to abundance under grace and in perfect ways. The knot of wealth cannot be undone. The knot of wealth cannot be undone. The knot of wealth cannot be undone. The cord of prosperity cannot be cut. The cord of prosperity cannot be cut. The cord of prosperity cannot be cut. The seal of abundance cannot be broken. The seal of abundance cannot be broken. The seal of abundance cannot be broken. I am joined to wealth in thought. I am joined to wealth in thought. I am joined to wealth in thought. I am joined to wealth in word. I am joined to wealth in word. I am joined to wealth in word. I am joined to wealth in deed. I am joined to wealth in deed. I am joined to wealth indeed. This bond is eternal. This bond is eternal. This bond is eternal. This bond is sacred. This bond is sacred. This bond is sacred. This bond is unshakable. This bond is unshakable. This bond is unshakable. I am forever attached to riches that overflow. I am forever attached to riches that overflow. I am forever attached to riches that overflow. I am forever joined to supply that never ends. I am forever joined to supply that never ends. I am forever joined to supply that never ends. Wealth walks with me. Wealth walks with me. Wealth walks with me. Well, prosperity guards me. Prosperity guards me. Prosperity guards me. Abundance crowns me. Abundance crowns me. Abundance crowns me. The seal is complete. The seal is complete. The seal is complete. I say once more I am bound to wealth. I say once more I am bound to wealth. I say once more I am bound to wealth. I am bound to prosperity. I am bound to prosperity. I am bound to prosperity. I am bound to abundance. I am bound to abundance. I am bound to abundance. Island, so it is, and so it is, and so it is. The ritual is sealed. The ritual is sealed. The ritual is sealed.
Every thought you think is a seed, and every seed must bring forth after its kind. If the seed is one of lack, limitation, or fear, it will sprout in like manner. If the seed is one of faith, wealth, and abundance, it will return multiplied, pressed down and running over. The subconscious mind is a fertile soil, always ready to receive the impressions planted upon it. It never sleeps, never questions, never argues. While the body rests, the inner life continues its labor, shaping tomorrow with the substance of tonight's beliefs. When one aligns with the rhythm of infinite supply, wealth becomes natural, effortless, inevitable. The universe is a storehouse of good, overflowing with gold, silver, opportunities, and treasures. Poverty is but a shadow cast by unbelief. Prosperity is the light revealed when the truth of abundance is spoken and received. Words are wands, thoughts are molds. And the spoken affirmation carves the channels through which wealth must flow. To impress the millionaire mindset upon the sleeping subconscious is to set the compass of destiny. The mind, unguarded by waking resistance, listens intently in the stillness of slumber. Every statement becomes law, every affirmation a decree. If one repeats the language of wealth, the inner world reshapes to mirror riches, and the outer world follows swiftly with proof. It is not toil alone that builds fortunes, but consciousness, the awareness of limitless supply, and the unwavering certainty that money comes in avalanches of abundance. From expected and unexpected places, there is no competition in divine supply. No man can take what belongs to you, and no delay can prevent what is already yours in spirit. To dwell upon shortage is to invite it, but to claim riches as your birthright is to open wide the floodgates of prosperity. Say within, I am one with infinite abundance. Wealth flows to me now. My sleep is a workshop of riches, My dreams are laden with prosperity, my awakening brings evidence of supply. As the moon governs the tides, so the hidden law of belief governs the inflow of money. One may strive for years without fruit, and then, upon changing thought, see miracles unfold overnight. A millionaire consciousness attracts million-dollar ideas, millionaire opportunities, and millionaire channels. It is not the coins that make the wealthy man, but the invisible current of thought he holds. Riches are a vibration, and to sleep in that vibration is to rise in the morning clothed with prosperity's mantle. Therefore, as you rest, let the affirmations of abundance whisper through your mind like a sacred lullaby. Let every word be a golden thread, weaving patterns of success. Let the subconscious accept only that which is opulent, magnificent, overflowing. For what you sow in the night, you shall reap in the light of day. To plant wealth in sleep is to awaken in riches. The millionaire mindset is not afar off, but here now, waiting to be claimed, impressed, and lived. Every thought you think is a seed. A seed once planted cannot help but bring forth after its own kind. The soil does not argue with the gardener. It does not choose to grow wheat when corn has been sown, it only yields in perfect likeness to what has been placed within it. So it is with the mind. The thoughts you hold are seeds dropped into the rich earth of consciousness, and each thought contains within itself the power to create its own harvest. If the thought is one of wealth, prosperity, and confidence, then riches must come. If the thought is one of lack, worry, or limitation, then struggle must follow. The invisible world of thought precedes the visible world of form, and the unseen seed is always more powerful than the harvest it produces. You may look at the present condition of your life and see only what has already sprung up from thoughts once planted, but the soil of mind is eternal and inexhaustible. It waits upon you moment by moment to sow again, to plant anew, to decide what kind of crop you desire. Every fleeting idea is a seed, every mental picture a kernel, every word spoken a planting. Nothing is wasted, nothing is overlooked, for the subconscious mind holds and nurtures every impression until it manifests in kind. Therefore, careless thinking is like scattering weeds across a field, and deliberate, abundant thinking is like sowing golden grain under the sun. Consider how one seed of corn, placed in the ground, does not return as one kernel only. It multiplies, creating ears heavy with hundreds of kernels, each capable of multiplying again. A single prosperous thought, repeated with conviction, magnifies itself, drawing to it opportunities, people, and circumstances that match its nature. So too does a single thought of fear or doubt multiply, attracting delay, loss, and disappointment. The law is exact, like thought produces after its kind. Nothing can alter this truth, for it is divine order at work. Therefore, the one who would become a millionaire in consciousness must plant millionaire seeds of thought. Not a thought of small gain, not a thought of meager allowance, but thoughts expansive, bold, filled with certainty that riches are natural and near. To say within, I am poor, I cannot, I lack, is to scatter weeds that choke the harvest of wealth. To affirm, I am rich in mind, rich in spirit, rich in supply, is to water the seed of prosperity until it grows into form. The harvest is inevitable when the seed is planted and cared for. Just as surely as the farmer trusts the spring rains to bring life to his fields. The millionaire does not begin with millions in the bank, but with millions in his thought world, his vision, his imagination, his certainty that wealth belongs to him. These are the seeds from which his riches spring. The poor man who clings to ideas of struggle and limitation may win a fortune, and yet lose it, for his inner seeds do not match his outer gain. The rich man who holds the consciousness of abundance may lose all, yet soon attract it back again, for his inner garden is fertile with prosperous seeds. It is not the outer that sustains wealth, but the inner planting. To think a thought is to give it life. To repeat it is to water it. To imagine it in detail is to shine the sun upon it. To act in harmony with it is to cultivate the soil around it. Each process hastens its growth until the harvest comes swiftly, sometimes so swiftly that the world calls it a miracle. Yet it is only the law of sowing and reaping at work, the unseen made seen, the seed multiplied in its own likeness. When one holds thoughts of wealth with faith, he does not strain or force their growth, any more than the farmer pulls at the green shoots in the field. He trusts the process. He knows that the soil is faithful, that the law is unfailing, that the seed will produce if he does not uproot it with worry or doubt. Each thought of abundance quietly works below the surface, shaping unseen currents, influencing minds and circumstances, until the outer form appears. The wise sower does not demand to see immediate evidence, for he knows the harvest is certain if the planting is right. Every thought is creative. Every thought carries its own vibration and draws to it things of like vibration. When you hold a thought of prosperity, you align yourself with the great river of abundance that flows through all creation. That thought becomes a magnet, drawing opportunities, ideas, and connections that are in harmony with it. To think rich thoughts is to step into the stream of riches. To think poor thoughts is to step aside from the flow and stand in dry ground. The choice belongs always to the thinker. Wealth does not come to those who wish for it idly, but to those who plant its seeds with deliberate intention. One cannot speak of lack all day, fret over bills, imagine poverty, and then expect riches to appear. For every word spoken is a planting, and the subconscious cannot yield corn when only thistles have been sown. But the one who fills his mind with images of gold, who speaks only of increase, who entertains only thoughts of overflowing supply, cannot help but see his life transformed. His field is heavy with rich harvest, because he planted richly. The truth is that you are always sowing, whether consciously or unconsciously. The mind never ceases from planting. Idle thoughts, careless words, repeated complaints. All of these are seeds dropped into the soil, and the harvest will come whether desired or not. To awaken to this truth is to take up the gardener's tools and plant with purpose. It is to choose thoughts of prosperity over thoughts of fear, to speak words of riches instead of words of struggle, to envision increase instead of decline. When the gardener takes control of the planting, the harvest can only be good. Thus, the great secret of the millionaire mindset is not hidden in toil or chance, but in the quiet planting of thoughts. Each idea is a beginning, each affirmation a seed. And when the thought is one of wealth, planted with conviction and nurtured with repetition, the harvest of riches is certain, multiplied, and overflowing. The subconscious mind is the silent servant of man, the hidden workshop where life is shaped and destiny is molded. It never sleeps, never questions, never argues, but receives every impression given to it and sets about bringing it into form. While the conscious mind grows weary, distracted by the sights and sounds of the outer world, the subconscious continues its ceaseless labor, building circumstances, drawing opportunities, and arranging conditions in perfect likeness to the thoughts and words impressed upon it. Sleep does not still its activity, rather it becomes more receptive, more open, more impressionable. For the conscious guard is lowered and resistance is at rest. The night becomes a sacred time in which seeds of truth, prosperity, and abundance may be most effectively sown. To understand this truth is to hold the key to effortless transformation. When the body sleeps, the conscious mind withdraws from its ceaseless chatter, and the subconscious lies wide open, like fertile soil awaiting seed. Every affirmation spoken, every idea repeated, every visualization entertained before slumber drifts directly into the deeper layers of mind. There, it takes root and grows without interruption, for there is no contradiction, no opposing argument, no denial. The word becomes law in the subconscious, and once accepted, it must manifest in the outer life. This is why the last thoughts before sleep are of such power. For they enter into the silent realm and work throughout the night to weave the fabric of tomorrow. The subconscious mind is the builder of the body, the magnet of circumstances, the silent author of fortune. It arranges conditions through unseen channels, moving people and events as though by invisible strings. What you impress upon it, it accepts as truth, and then it tirelessly seeks to demonstrate it. It cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. It only knows the pattern it has been given and faithfully reproduces it. This is why one who entertains fears before sleep often awakens with anxiety. For the subconscious has been laboring all night to bring forth that which was impressed upon it. And likewise, the one who impresses abundance, success, and prosperity upon the subconscious before sleep rises with fresh ideas, new energy, and open doors awaiting him. To program abundance while you sleep is to harness the most powerful hours of existence. 8 hours of unconscious rest become 8 hours of conscious creation, for the subconscious is ceaseless in its work. Imagine the riches that can flow when every night is devoted to impressing millionaire thoughts, affirmations of success, and images of overflowing prosperity. The mind becomes saturated with the vibration of wealth, and the outer life reshapes itself to match. Opportunities appear without strain, solutions arrive as if by miracle, channels open unexpectedly. For the subconscious has aligned circumstances to mirror its inner conviction. The ancient truth is that as within, so without. The inner world is the cause, the outer world the effect. The subconscious is the bridge between thought and form, the invisible workshop where ideas are molded into reality. When the conscious mind frets, doubts, and resists, it delays the process, but when it sleeps, the subconscious is free to create without hindrance. To plant affirmations of abundance before sleep is to give the subconscious a blueprint of riches, which it then tirelessly constructs while the conscious mind rests. It is like handing over a design to a master builder and allowing him to work undisturbed through the night. The millionaire mindset is not built by struggle, but by repetition, persistence, and faith. Every night before sleep, the wealthy thinker impresses images of gold, overflowing accounts, thriving enterprises, and joyous freedom. These impressions sink deep, beyond the reach of doubt, and there they grow into certainty. By day, the subconscious whispers guidance, attracts opportunities, and nudges action in harmony with its programming. By night, it continues its quiet work, weaving prosperity into the fabric of life. Each morning, the dreamer awakens a little richer, not only in spirit, but in visible manifestation, for the subconscious knows no difference between day and night, waking and sleeping. It only knows to create. Words spoken in the waking hours may be contradicted by conscious fear, but words spoken to the subconscious in the stillness of slumber are received as commands. To say, "I am rich, I am prosperous, I am wealthy," just before sleep is to give the subconscious its orders for the night. To imagine oneself already living in the mansion, already enjoying freedom, already clothed in success, is to impress a living picture that the subconscious will bring to pass. For it is the nature of the subconscious to act without delay, to move all things necessary to fulfill its pattern. The one who learns to use the hours of sleep wisely multiplies the power of thought, for every night becomes a workshop of wealth. It is not effort but belief that impresses the subconscious. The faint whisper of a thought, repeated with feeling, is more potent than 1,000 forced affirmations spoken without conviction. The subconscious responds to vivid imagination, to emotion, to repetition. When the conscious mind relaxes in the moments before sleep and pictures abundance with joy, the impression is received clearly and deeply. The subconscious then takes up the picture and reproduces it faithfully. What is seen inwardly at night becomes experienced outwardly by day. Therefore, the hours of sleep are the golden hours of creation. The conscious mind may be limited, but the subconscious knows no limits. It draws upon the infinite, upon universal supply, and arranges conditions to fulfill the belief impressed upon it. To impress wealth upon the subconscious while you sleep is to set the law of prosperity in motion without resistance, without fatigue, without delay. Every night becomes a sacred time of sowing, every dream a rehearsal of riches, every morning a step closer to visible fortune. The subconscious is the silent servant, and in the stillness of slumber it is most attentive, most receptive, most willing to obey. Whoever learns this secret holds the key to limitless wealth, for the mind, once impressed with prosperity, cannot help but bring it forth. Abundance is the eternal birthright of man. From the beginning of time, the universe has been overflowing with supply, with riches uncounted, with treasures seen and unseen, waiting to be claimed. The sun does not ration its light, the ocean does not measure its waves. The stars do not limit their shining. Nature herself is a living testimony of infinite provision, giving freely, lavishly, without thought of depletion. Lack is not written into the order of creation, it is the illusion born of fear and false belief. Abundance belongs to every soul as surely as the breath within their lungs, and to claim it is not arrogance but alignment with divine law. No competition exists in the realm of true supply, for what is yours cannot be taken, and what is another's cannot diminish your share. To live in fear of shortage is to turn away from the fountain that is ever pouring. It is to close the hand that was made to receive, to shut the door that was built to open. The mind that dwells upon scarcity builds walls around itself, seeing only limitation where there is infinite possibility. But the mind that affirms abundance removes every barrier and stands beneath the endless stream of provision, confident that there is more than enough for all. One person's gain does not mean another's loss, for the source of supply is inexhaustible. To understand this truth is to release all envy, all striving, all fear, and to rest in the certainty that riches flow in perfect measure to those who accept them in consciousness. The world teaches competition, the struggle for survival, the belief that one must take from another in order to have. Yet the higher law reveals that giving multiplies, that blessing expands, that rejoicing in another's good calls forth your own. The subconscious, when impressed with the truth of abundance, no longer fears that others may outshine or outgain, for it knows that the same source flows to all. When you bless the prosperity of others, you align yourself with the current of prosperity. When you resent it, you cut yourself off from the flow. Abundance cannot be hoarded, cannot be cornered, cannot be monopolized, for it is spiritual in essence and infinite in expression. The birthright of abundance is not measured in coins alone, but in opportunities, health, joy, friendships, inspiration, and peace. Money is but one channel, one symbol of the greater current that flows through every area of life. When the consciousness of abundance is accepted, money comes as naturally as air, and often from unexpected avenues. For the subconscious aligns with infinite intelligence and draws to it the channels most suited to the pattern it holds. The individual no longer depends upon one source or one method, for the universe has countless ways to deliver supply. To know abundance is to know freedom from dependence upon a single stream, for when one dries, another springs forth, and still another. Until the soul perceives that supply is limitless, the child accepts abundance without question. He does not wonder whether the earth will yield food, whether the sun will rise, whether water will quench his thirst. He trusts, he expects, he receives. So too must the adult, who has learned the false lessons of lack, return to the faith of the child, knowing that provision is certain, that the Father of creation withholds no good thing, that every need is already met in the unseen, before it is visible in the seen. To accept less than abundance is to accept an illusion, for poverty is not truth but shadow. It dissolves when the light of belief shines upon it, when the soul declares, I am one with infinite supply, I cannot lack, I cannot lose, I cannot be limited. No competition exists in the realm of true wealth, for all are heirs of the same infinite storehouse. Each soul has a unique path, a unique calling, a unique channel through which riches flow, and no man can rob another of what is divinely his. To envy the success of another is to forget your own inheritance. To fear that another's riches mean less for you is to deny the inexhaustible fountain. The truth is that every demonstration of wealth by another is proof that abundance is at hand for all. Instead of resentment, let it be a reminder, a confirmation, a signal that the same good is near you, waiting to be claimed. The subconscious mind, when impressed with the idea of abundance as a birthright, works tirelessly to manifest it. It no longer accepts thoughts of struggle. It rejects words of limitation. It opens doors that conscious effort could not force. It arranges circumstances with precision, bringing you into contact with opportunities, people, and ideas that match your conviction of plenty, while others strive and compete. The one rooted in abundance consciousness rests in the law, knowing that what belongs to him must appear, and that no delay or interference can prevent it. The subconscious does not reason, does not debate, does not hesitate. It simply brings forth the pattern impressed upon it, and when that pattern is abundance, the results are inevitable. The illusion of scarcity has been taught for generations, passed down as though it were truth, reinforced by fear and competition. Yet it crumbles before the higher awareness that abundance is infinite, inexhaustible, ever-present. The earth itself replenishes, the seasons renew. The rivers flow ceaselessly, the crops multiply. Nature wastes nothing, withholds nothing, fears nothing. She gives and gives again, always more, always overflowing. Man alone imagines shortage, and by that imagination, he creates it. But when the imagination is turned to abundance, when the thought dwells upon plenty, when the word affirms prosperity, then the illusion dissolves and the true order of creation reveals itself. To live in abundance is not to hoard but to circulate. What is given returns multiplied, what is shared expands, what is blessed increases. The miser, in clinging to his store, lives in fear of loss and therefore magnetizes loss. The generous soul, in releasing freely, proves his trust in infinite supply, and therefore attracts more to release. The law cannot be broken. As you sow, you reap. As you give, you receive. As you bless, you are blessed. Circulation is the law of abundance, and those who align with it never know lack. Abundance is a state of mind before it is a state of affairs. The millionaire mindset begins not with money but with belief. Not with possessions but with consciousness. To know within that riches are yours, to affirm daily that you are heir to infinite supply, to rest in the certainty that no one can diminish your good. This is the foundation upon which visible wealth is built. Without it, money gained may slip away, but with it, money flows steadily, naturally, in ever-increasing measure. The subconscious accepts the conviction of abundance as truth, and the outer world becomes its reflection. Wealth is not a pile of coins, not a stack of notes, not a figure written upon a ledger, but a vibration. It is an unseen frequency, a subtle current, an energy that the mind tunes into and attracts in perfect likeness. All creation is vibration, every thought sends out its wave. Every belief hums with its tone, every word spoken carries its resonance into the invisible. To hold thoughts of abundance is to strike the note of prosperity, and by the law of attraction, all things in harmony with that note are drawn. To hold thoughts of lack is to strike the note of poverty, and by the same law, conditions of want are attracted. Wealth is not chased but magnetized, not wrestled into being but allowed, by aligning thought and feeling with the frequency of riches. When the mind is filled with fear, anxiety, and doubt, its vibration is heavy and discordant. It attracts difficulties, obstacles, delays, and losses, for these are the reflections of its tone. When the mind is filled with faith, gratitude, and expectancy, its vibration is light and harmonious. It draws opportunities, favorable conditions, generous people, and fortunate events, for these are the reflections of its song. One may labor night and day and see little fruit, while another, tuned inwardly to wealth, finds doors opening with ease, contacts flowing naturally, and fortune arriving as if by miracle. It is not the outer effort alone, but the inner vibration that governs the harvest. The subconscious mind is the great receiver and broadcaster of vibration. It accepts every thought impressed upon it and radiates it outward into the universal current. What is radiated returns multiplied. Just as an echo returns the sound in greater volume when it strikes the right chamber. To vibrate with wealth is to send forth the signal that riches belong to you, and the universe answers by delivering wealth in tangible form. To vibrate with lack is to send forth the signal of need, and the universe answers with more need. The law is exact, unfailing, impartial. It does not choose who shall prosper and who shall want. It only reflects the vibration held most consistently in the inner life. Therefore, to cultivate a millionaire vibration is to cultivate thoughts and feelings of wealth, regardless of present appearances. The one who holds riches in consciousness attracts riches, even if his purse is empty. The one who holds poverty in consciousness repels riches, even if his purse is full for a season. The vibration is stronger than circumstance, for it is the root cause, and all conditions must bend to it. This is why fortunes often slip from those who stumble into riches without the corresponding vibration, and why wealth flows steadily to those who have tuned their minds to abundance long before it appears. The vibration sustains what chance alone cannot. To live in wealth vibration is to think, speak, and act as though abundance is already yours. It is to carry yourself with confidence, to give freely, to expect generously, to rejoice in the prosperity of others, for these attitudes match the frequency of abundance. To complain, to fear, to resent, to withhold is to lower the vibration and align with scarcity. The subconscious accepts these signals without question, and the outer life mirrors them unfailingly. By guarding thought, refining speech, and directing imagination, one controls vibration and thereby controls destiny. Visualization is one of the most powerful instruments for shaping vibration. When you picture yourself surrounded by wealth, living in comfort, moving freely, enjoying the fruits of prosperity, the subconscious accepts the picture as real and vibrates accordingly. The feeling generated by such imagery is the true power, for feeling is the essence of vibration. Mere words spoken without conviction have little force, but words accompanied by vivid imagination and genuine emotion impress deeply and radiate strongly. To imagine abundance with joy is to tune the entire being to the frequency of riches, and once tuned, the outer world cannot help but resonate in response. Gratitude is another key to the vibration of wealth. To give thanks for present blessings, however small, raises the vibration and attracts more to be thankful for. The ungrateful soul, dwelling on what is lacking, vibrates with want and therefore attracts more lack. But the grateful soul, seeing every provision as evidence of the infinite, vibrates with fullness and therefore attracts more fullness. Gratitude is the language of abundance, and every grateful thought sends forth a rich tone into the universe, which returns in multiplied blessings. Faith is the stabilizer of vibration. Without faith, the mind wavers between abundance and lack, sending out a confused signal and receiving confused results. With faith, the mind holds steady to the frequency of wealth, even when appearances seem contrary. Faith says, "I know abundance is mine, though I do not yet see it," and by holding this vibration unwaveringly, it draws abundance into sight. Doubt interrupts the broadcast, weakens the current, and delays the manifestation. Faith strengthens the signal, quickens the return, and ensures the harvest. To live in harmony with the wealth vibration is not to force circumstances but to align with the law. One does not chase opportunities anxiously but allows them to come, knowing that the vibration itself is the magnet. This does not mean idleness, but inspired action, action that flows naturally from inner certainty rather than fear-driven struggle. The subconscious, attuned to abundance, brings forth ideas, urges, and directions that lead to prosperity, and when followed with confidence, these lead to visible increase. It is not effort alone, but effort aligned with vibration that multiplies results. The millionaire vibration is generous, expansive, fearless, confident. It does not cling or grasp, for it knows that supply is endless. It does not envy or resent, for it knows that all are heirs to the same infinite storehouse. It does not doubt or waver, for it knows that what is held inwardly must appear outwardly. To dwell in such a vibration is to dwell in freedom, to move through life with assurance, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to magnetize wealth from expected and unexpected avenues alike. Every day, every hour, every moment, the vibration is being set by the thoughts and feelings entertained. It is not one grand declaration that fixes it, but the steady repetition of wealthy thoughts, the constant turning of attention to abundance, the persistent refusal to dwell on lack. Just as a musical instrument must be tuned again and again, so must the vibration of wealth be maintained by practice, persistence, and devotion. The subconscious, once saturated with the frequency of riches, becomes a perfect transmitter, sending forth the tone of abundance day and night, and the universe cannot but respond in kind. Night is the secret chamber where tomorrow is formed. When the conscious mind grows weary and drifts into slumber, the gatekeeper steps aside and the subconscious mind stands ready, open and receptive. In those hours, every word spoken inwardly, every image entertained, every affirmation repeated becomes a seed dropped deep into fertile soil. What is planted at night takes root without resistance. For doubt is silenced, fear is quieted, and logic no longer interferes. The subconscious, ever faithful, accepts the impression as truth and begins to work through unseen channels to bring it into manifestation. To fill the mind with affirmations of prosperity before sleep is to whisper wealth into the depths of the soul, where it grows in silence and appears later as visible riches. The subconscious does not rest while the body sleeps, it continues its ceaseless labor, arranging circumstances, drawing people, and aligning events to match the vibration it has been given. If thoughts of lack and fear are the last to be entertained, they are carried into the night and multiplied, bringing restless dreams and anxious awakenings. But if thoughts of abundance and certainty are the final impressions, the subconscious carries them like golden instructions, working through the silent hours to weave conditions of wealth and ease. Every morning becomes a harvest of what was sown the night before, for the night is not a time of inactivity, but of hidden creation. The power of night affirmations lies in their repetition and their tone. A single declaration made with feeling before drifting to sleep has more potency than 100 words spoken without faith in the daytime. The conscious mind may argue during the day, questioning, doubting, reasoning away the affirmation, but in the quiet of slumber, no such barrier remains. The subconscious absorbs the word like a sponge absorbs water, and once absorbed, it cannot help but produce after its kind. To say, "I am wealthy, I live in abundance, money flows to me now," with conviction before rest, is to hand the subconscious a blueprint of riches that it immediately begins to construct. Imagination plays its part in the night programming of prosperity. To picture oneself walking through a beautiful home, handling great sums of money, traveling freely, giving generously, is to impress living images upon the inner mind. These images, entertained in the twilight moments before sleep, are carried into the dream state, where they continue to unfold and deepen. The subconscious, unable to distinguish between vividly imagined scenes and physical reality, accepts them as fact and works tirelessly to make them visible. Dreams then become rehearsals of prosperity, and the waking life gradually conforms to the pattern rehearsed at night. The language of the subconscious is feeling. Words repeated mechanically leave little trace, but words charged with emotion sink deeply and take hold. When affirmations of wealth are spoken with joy, gratitude, or excitement, the subconscious accepts them instantly and begins to vibrate in harmony with them. To drift to sleep with a heart full of thanksgiving for abundance, whether yet seen or not, is to set the subconscious aglow with prosperity's vibration. That vibration radiates through the night, broadcasting silently, drawing to it conditions that match its tone. Ritual strengthens the practice of night affirmations. To make it a habit every evening, to turn from thoughts of the day and dwell deliberately upon wealth, success, and ease is to train the subconscious to expect nothing less. Just as a farmer waters his field faithfully, so must the mind be watered each night with affirmations of abundance. In time, the subconscious becomes saturated with the idea of prosperity, and the outer world rearranges itself to mirror the inner saturation. It is not the intensity of one night alone, but the persistence of many nights that builds a consciousness so rich that wealth cannot help but appear. The night is also a time of release. Old beliefs of poverty, failure, and struggle may linger in the subconscious, hindering the flow of abundance. Before sleep, these can be dissolved by affirming the truth of infinite supply and refusing to carry old patterns into the new day. To say, "I release every thought of lack, I let go of all belief in limitation, I rest now in abundance," is to cleanse the subconscious of weeds before planting new seeds. Sleep then becomes not only a time of sowing but of clearing, ensuring that only prosperous impressions remain. The body heals in sleep, and so does the mind. Just as the cells repair and the nerves restore, so too does the subconscious renew its patterns when given new instructions. Each night of affirmations becomes a night of mental healing, replacing scarcity with abundance, fear with confidence, struggle with ease. In the morning, one rises not only refreshed in body, but renewed in spirit, carrying the invisible wealth consciousness that soon shapes visible wealth conditions. Sleep is thus transformed from passive rest into active creation, the most productive hours of the day, though they appear silent. Night affirmations are also a shield. In a world filled with messages of limitation, news of shortage, and voices of fear, the subconscious easily absorbs negative impressions. To guard it, one must deliberately overwrite those impressions before rest. By affirming prosperity at night, you protect the inner mind from the residue of the day, ensuring that only the vibration of wealth is carried into the long hours of subconscious activity. The world may speak of lack, but the subconscious will know only abundance, for that was the last instruction it received. Every word spoken before sleep echoes in the chambers of the subconscious, repeating itself through the night until it becomes a part of belief. Every image imagined before slumber is painted upon the canvas of the inner mind, where it grows brighter and clearer until it must be expressed outwardly. Every feeling carried into rest is magnified, returning with multiplied strength in the waking hours. This is the sacred rhythm of night affirmations. Thought becomes belief, belief becomes vibration, vibration becomes form. The one who understands this rhythm understands the secret of effortless creation. To fill the night with abundance is to fill the day with prosperity. To let the last moments before sleep be devoted to wealth is to let the subconscious mind weave prosperity into every fiber of being. Each night becomes a workshop of riches, each dream a rehearsal of success, each awakening a step deeper into visible abundance. The subconscious, faithful servant of thought, works most diligently in the silence of slumber, and what you give it at night, it must return to you by day.
Beloved, money will never answer to stress. The more you worry about it, the further it runs from you. Stress is not a magnet for supply, it is a wall that blocks it. The truth is this: the moment you fear lack, you invite lack. But the moment you expect abundance, you open the floodgates of heaven. I tell you now, if you are lying awake at night rehearsing bills in your mind, if your chest tightens at the thought of tomorrow's needs, if you are begging the universe to send money while your heart trembles in doubt, you are sending out the wrong decree. The law responds not to panic, but to faith. Spirit does not move because you fear. Spirit moves because you trust. Hear me well. Your stress about money is a false god. It demands your worship, your energy, your peace, and it gives you nothing in return. But faith in divine supply, faith in the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, that faith produces miracles. You must choose today which altar you kneel at, the altar of fear or the altar of faith. So speak with me now, not in trembling but in triumph. I do not stress about money. I am supplied, I am provided, I am prospered under grace and in perfect ways. Hold this truth, beloved, and you will see your life rearranged. Beloved, stress is the great thief of your abundance. It parades itself as concern, as caution, as responsibility. But do not be deceived. Stress is not wisdom, it is worship at the wrong altar. It bows before fear and crowns lack as king. And what you worship, you magnify. What you magnify, you manifest. Think for a moment. When you stress about money, where is your faith? Is it in the God of endless supply? Or is it in the illusion of bills, debts, and numbers that seem too large to bear? Stress is misplaced faith. It is faith in shortage, faith in delay, faith in failure. And as long as you bow before that false god, you cut yourself off from the true source of all provision. The law is simple. What you fear, you draw near. What you expect, you invite in. Stress is constant fear, rehearsed day and night. It says, what if the money doesn't come? What if I can't pay this? What if I lose everything? And as these words flow through your mind and out of your lips, you are writing invitations to lack. But listen closely, beloved. You do not have to live this way. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of good. Stress is nothing but fear stretched thin across your days, and fear, once unmasked, has no power. It is an illusion that crumbles when the light of truth shines upon it. The truth is that God is your supply, not man, not wages, not circumstance. If one channel closes, another opens. If one door shuts, heaven swings wide another. You are never without supply because you are never without God. Let me give you a picture. Imagine standing with your hands clenched tightly in fists. Inside those fists, you clutch worry, fear, and stress. Now imagine Spirit trying to pour blessings into your hands. Can you receive them with closed fists? No. Your grip must release. Stress is the clenched fist. Faith is the open hand. When you open your hand, when you let go of fear, the flow of supply rushes in to fill it. I have seen it countless times. A woman fears she cannot pay her rent, so she rehearses worry until it drains her strength. Yet the moment she surrenders and says, God is my supply, and supply is endless, suddenly a new source opens, an unexpected check arrives, an opportunity appears. Was it magic? No, beloved, it was law. Stress blocked it. Faith released it. Stress convinces you that you must carry the entire burden yourself. It whispers, if you don't figure this out, you'll fail. But faith says, rest. Divine intelligence is already arranging the way. Stress is self-reliance in disguise, but faith is God-reliance in truth. When you lean on your own understanding, the weight is crushing. But when you lean on the everlasting arms, you find peace and provision flowing freely. Hear me, money does not come because you worry over it. Money comes because you align with the law of supply. Worry repels it, trust attracts it. Stress is wasted energy, a counterfeit form of prayer that produces no answer. Each anxious thought is like knocking on a locked door, when all along there is an open gate behind you. Turn around, stop pounding on lack, and start walking through the gate of abundance. So how do you break the spell of stress? By declaring the truth louder than the lies. Each time your chest tightens at the sight of a bill, speak over it. This is already paid in full. God is my banker, Spirit is my source, and I do not stress about money. Each time you worry about tomorrow's needs, say boldly, my supply is endless, my provision is secure, money comes to me easily and on time. Replace every fear thought with a faith decree, and the false god of stress will crumble under your feet. Beloved, stress is not a badge of honor. It is not proof that you are responsible. True responsibility is alignment with divine law. True wisdom is knowing that your part is to speak the word, to expect supply, to walk in gratitude, and to leave the how and when to Spirit. Stress says, I must figure it out. Faith says, it is already figured out. Stress says, I have no way. Faith says, God makes a way where there is no way. Today, lay down the idol of stress. Refuse to worship it another moment. Lift your eyes to the true source, open your hands to receive, and speak the decree that will realign your life. I do not stress about money. I am supplied, I am prospered. I am provided for, under grace and in perfect ways. Let that be your anthem, your prayer, your shield against fear, and watch as the illusion of lack dissolves and the reality of abundance flows in. Beloved, one of the greatest secrets of divine law is what Florence Scovel Shinn called the law of substitution. It is the understanding that you cannot hold two thoughts at the same time. One must always drive out the other. Light and darkness cannot occupy the same space. Fear and faith cannot sit on the same throne. Stress and peace cannot rule the same heart. So if stress has claimed its place in your mind, You cannot beg it to leave. You must replace it. You substitute fear with faith, worry with decree, lack with abundance. This is the way to break the pattern. Every time you find yourself circling the same anxious thought, how will I pay this? What if I don't have enough? What if it doesn't come in time? You must immediately substitute it with truth. Declare boldly, I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Speak it, feel it, and see it until the worry fades into silence. Let me tell you this, nature abhors a vacuum. If you rip out weeds and plant nothing in their place, the weeds will return. So it is with the mind. If you silence worry without filling the space with truth, worry will creep back in. This is why substitution is so powerful. It ensures that what once was filled with fear is now filled with faith. Every time fear arises, you respond with decree, and in time, faith becomes your automatic response. Think of it this way. If a child is crying over a toy they lost, you do not only tell them to stop crying, you give them another toy, something greater, something that captures their attention. Soon the tears dry, and the smile returns. Beloved, your mind is that child. Stress is the broken toy. Faith is the gift placed in its hands. The moment you give it faith, the tears of fear vanish. Florence said, a person knowing the power of the word becomes very careful of his conversation. Why? Because words are the tools of substitution. When you hear yourself say, I can't afford this, you must immediately substitute, I have endless supply, and what is mine comes to me with ease. When you hear yourself say, money is running out, replace it instantly. Money flows freely to me, and I am always taken care of. The law works every time you apply it. You may say, but Florence, what if I don't feel it yet? Beloved, the feeling will follow the word if you persist. You cannot always control the first thought of fear, but you can control the second. You may not choose the shadow that tries to creep in, but you can light the lamp that sends it fleeing. Substitution is your lamp. Use it until it becomes your habit. Let us practice now. When stress whispers, there isn't enough, answer, there is always more than enough. When fear says, I am late, I am behind, I am sinking, substitute, my supply is always on time, never late, never lacking. When lack sneers, you will never be free. Replace it with, I am free, I am rich, I am prosperous, in mind, body, and affairs. Each substitution plants a seed, and seeds do not remain seeds, they grow into harvests. Beloved, this is not pretending, this is aligning. You are not lying to yourself, you are reminding yourself of the truth Spirit has already declared. Stress is the lie, lack is the illusion, fear is the shadow. The truth is that you are always supplied, always guided, always cared for. Substitution is the way you shift your mind from the lie back to the truth. And do not grow weary if the substitutions are many at first. The soil of your mind may be overrun with weeds from years of worry, but every weed you pull and replace with faith is one step closer to a garden of abundance. In time, the weeds grow fewer, the flowers spread wider, and peace becomes the natural landscape of your soul. So here is your practice. Listen carefully to your own words. Catch the whispers of stress before they grow into shouts, and every time they appear, substitute immediately with a decree of truth. Train your tongue to serve faith, and soon your mind will follow. Train your mind to serve abundance, and soon your life will mirror it. Speak with me now, as a seal upon this section. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Money flows freely to me, and I am always provided for under grace and in perfect ways. Let this substitution take root in you, and watch as fear loses its place, stress dissolves, and abundance takes its rightful throne. Beloved, the imagination is the workshop of spirit. What you see inwardly, you magnetize outwardly. This is why stress is so destructive. It forces you to rehearse lack in the theater of your mind. You picture bills piling higher. You imagine bank accounts running dry. You feel the weight of not enough pressing down on you. And because your inner vision is focused on shortage, shortage takes root in your affairs. But hear me clearly. You can turn the tide by painting a new picture. What you visualize with faith, you materialize with certainty. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word and your imagination must agree. The spoken word sends out the decree, and imagination clothes it in form. If you say, I am rich, but still see yourself in rags, the decree is weakened. But if you say, I am rich, and then see yourself clothed in plenty, walking in peace, living in abundance, then heaven rushes to confirm your vision. The two must walk hand in hand, decree and picture, affirmation and imagination. So let us practice now. Close your eyes, beloved, and imagine before you every bill that once caused you distress. See them not as weights upon your soul, but as slips of paper stamped boldly with red letters, paid in full. See the ink shining, feel the relief rising in your chest, hear yourself whisper, it is done. Do not see the mountain of debt, see the freedom of deliverance. Do not feel the chain of burden, feel the wings of release. Now, go further. Picture your wallet or your purse, not empty, not thin, but full, so full it hardly closes. See your bank account, the numbers not dwindling but multiplying. See the checks arriving, the payments flowing, the opportunities opening. Let your mind become a screen upon which Spirit paints provision. And do not only see it, feel it. Feel what it would be like to walk into a store without fear, to pay a bill without worry, to give freely without shrinking back. Feel the calm of knowing that money comes easily, that supply is always on time, that you are never left out, never forgotten, never in want. That feeling is faith clothed in emotion, and Spirit responds to feeling with the same force it responds to words. The law says, whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe you have received them, and you shall have them. To believe is not to wish, it is to feel as though it is already done. When you walk in the vibration of already mine, the outer world rearranges to match. The unpaid bill turns to paid, the empty hand turns to full, the worry turns to peace. So each time stress whispers lack, do not argue with it. Close your eyes, speak your decree, and paint a new picture. Say aloud, money flows freely to me, and I am always provided for. Then imagine money flowing like a river toward you, streams of supply from every direction, covering every need, overflowing into every corner of your life. Say, my supply is endless, my provision is secure. Then see yourself resting in peace, smiling with joy, walking in confidence. Beloved, your visualization is not fantasy, it is prophecy. You are not pretending when you imagine, you are planting seeds. Stress imagines disaster and reaps disaster. Faith imagines abundance and reaps abundance. Choose this day what picture you will allow in your mind, for the picture you hold is the harvest you shall see. Practice this daily. In the morning, before stress has a chance to enter, close your eyes and see the day already supplied. At night, before sleep carries you into dreams, see tomorrow's needs already met. Let your imagination be disciplined, not wandering to fear but anchored in faith. And soon, your subconscious will believe it, and what the subconscious accepts, life delivers. Remember, beloved, you are not bound by what the outer world shows. The outer is but a reflection of the inner. Change the picture within, and the outer must follow. Bills may arrive, but you need not tremble. Instead, you look at them and say, this is already paid. Angels of supply are at work. I am rich, I am free, I am provided for under grace. And so it will be. Let us seal this practice now with a decree and vision combined. Say with me, I do not stress about money. I see myself rich. I feel myself provided for. I know my supply is endless and always on time. Money flows to me in perfect ways, under grace, and I rest in peace. Hold that picture, beloved. Feel that truth. For what you see with faith, you shall surely receive. Beloved, truth without practice is like a lamp without oil. It may shine for a moment, but soon the flame dies. To keep the light of abundance burning, you must feed it daily. This is why affirmations are not optional, they are essential. They are the rhythm of faith, the heartbeat of manifestation. Each decree spoken in faith is a spark, and when repeated daily, those sparks ignite into a fire that no wind of worry can extinguish. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you must train your mind to speak only what you want to see. The tongue is the gatekeeper of your destiny, and daily affirmations are how you keep that gate aligned with truth. Stress wants to slip in through careless words, through sighs of defeat, through constant complaints. But affirmations slam the gate shut to fear and open it wide to supply. So, here is your daily practice. In the morning, before the world distracts you, stand still and declare, God is my supply, and my supply is endless. I begin this day rich in faith, rich in peace, and rich in provision. I do not stress about money, for money flows to me in perfect ways, under grace. Repeat it 3 times, not as empty words, but as living decree. Let each word carry authority, as if the universe itself must bow in agreement. As you speak, see the day unfolding in abundance. During the day, whenever stress tries to rise, answer it immediately with affirmation. If you feel fear about a bill, place your hand over it and declare, this is already paid in full. The same spirit that created the universe provides for me now. I walk in perfect supply. If you catch yourself worrying about tomorrow, stop at once and say, my future is secure. Money comes to me easily, effortlessly, and on time. I am always taken care of, under grace and in perfect ways. Do not wait for stress to grow strong before you speak. Cut it off at the root with swift decree. Remember the law of substitution. Every fear must be replaced by faith, every worry by a word of truth. And at night, before you close your eyes, release the burdens of the day with this lullaby of affirmation. I rest in divine abundance. I sleep surrounded by angels of supply. No lack can touch me, no worry can bind me, for I am provided for as I dream. I wake refreshed, renewed, and rich in every way. Make these affirmations your companions. Write them on slips of paper and place them where your eyes will fall on your mirror, your wallet, your desk. Record them in your own voice and play them as you fall asleep. Whisper them as you walk, speak them as you drive, declare them as you cook. Let them become as natural as breathing. Beloved, repetition is not weakness, it is strength. The subconscious does not change by hearing truth once, but by hearing it again and again until it becomes the only truth it knows. Just as water, drop by drop, carves stone, so do affirmations, word by word, carve new realities in your life. Stress may have written its story on your heart for years, but affirmations rewrite it line by line until lack is erased and abundance remains. Let me give you a rhythm you can carry daily. I do not stress about money. God is my source, and supply is unlimited. Money flows to me freely and abundantly. All my bills are paid in full, under grace and in perfect ways. I live in ease, not struggle. I rest in faith, not fear. Wealth surrounds me. Prosperity fills me. Abundance follows me. Say them morning, noon, and night. Let them sink so deep that when stress tries to knock, these words answer instead. Remember this: affirmations are not begging, they are commanding. You are not asking the universe to consider your request. You are declaring what is already true by divine law. Money is not outside you, teasing you like a cruel master. It is already yours in the unseen, waiting for your decree to call it forth. Each affirmation is a call, and supply always answers. So take up this practice, beloved. Do not let a day pass without clothing yourself in affirmations. Just as you would not step into the cold without a coat, do not step into the world without your decrees. They are your shield, your magnet, your guarantee of peace. And soon, you will notice, stress will fade, fear will weaken, lack will dissolve. In its place will rise a steady calm, a quiet confidence, a radiant flow of provision. You will live in the truth that has always been yours. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Beloved, we have walked together through the valley of fear, and we have seen that stress is a false master, powerless to rule the child of God. We have uncovered the law that decrees abundance. We have practiced substitution. We have painted visions of overflow, and we have armed ourselves with daily affirmations. Now it is time to seal this truth with the decree that drives stress away forever. The word decree means more than a wish, more than a hope. It is a law spoken aloud. When a king issues a decree, it does not beg, it commands. When you decree with faith, you are not pleading with the universe. You are commanding spirit to align with its own truth. You are exercising your divine right to live free, to live supplied, to live prospered. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded us, your word is your wand. The wand is not waved in silence, it is spoken. So hear me now. Your days of stressing over money are finished. The false altar of fear is torn down. You no longer serve the god of anxiety, the idol of worry, the shadow of lack. You serve only the living source, the God of endless supply, the spirit that knows no limit. And from this moment forward, you will walk in peace, not panic. You will walk in expectation, not stress. You will walk in the rhythm of provision, not the grasp of fear. Let us decree it together with authority. Speak it boldly. Speak it with the voice of certainty. Speak it as though the very air must obey. I do not stress about money. I am supplied. I am provided for. I am prospered under grace and in perfect ways. My supply is endless. My provision is secure, and my prosperity flows without interruption. Money comes to me easily, effortlessly, and on time. All that belongs to me by divine right cannot be withheld, and it arrives now in perfect form. Say it again, with greater force. I do not stress about money. Stress has no place in me, for I live in faith. I live in abundance. I live in peace. God is my source, and God never fails. Beloved, let this decree sink into your spirit until it becomes the song of your soul. Stress cannot survive where this word is spoken. Lack cannot linger where this decree is alive. You are not calling something that does not exist. You are claiming what has always been yours. Supply was finished before your need arose. Provision was prepared before the bill arrived. Money was placed in your orbit before the worry ever entered your mind. You are not out of supply, you are only out of alignment. And with this decree, alignment is restored. Walk from this moment with new eyes. When you see a bill, do not see stress. See the words, paid in full. When you see your wallet, do not see lack, see overflow. When you think of tomorrow, do not see uncertainty. See provision already on the way. Let every step be accompanied by the rhythm of this truth. I do not stress about money. My supply is endless. My provision is secure. My prosperity is guaranteed. And when fear tries to return, for it always will, do not tremble. Answer it at once with decree. Do not let a single anxious thought linger unchallenged. Replace it. Substitute it. Command it to leave. Say aloud, I rest in abundance. I walk in faith. I live in divine supply. And watch as the shadow dissolves before the light of your words. Beloved, stress is no longer your master. You have broken its chains with the wand of your word. You have substituted fear with faith, lack with supply, worry with peace. Now, stand tall, speak boldly, and live freely. For your decree has gone forth, and it will not return void. It will accomplish what you have spoken. So let us seal it one final time. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. I am prospered. I am provided for. I am at peace. Under grace, in perfect ways, my abundance flows now. And so it island. Now, beloved, go in peace, go in confidence, go in prosperity. For the law is fulfilled, the decree is sealed, and your stress has been turned into supply.
There is a golden moment when the doors of abundance swing wide open and the universe itself whispers your name. This moment is not born of chance or accident. It is the perfect unfolding of divine order. The world may call it coincidence, but those who walk by faith know it as the hand of infinite intelligence moving with precision. Today is not an ordinary day. It is a day when destiny taps gently upon the door of your consciousness, asking you to notice. When the message comes, check your bank account when it ends. It only works once in a lifetime, and today it found you. It is not a warning, but a sacred invitation. The invisible supply, already prepared for you since before time began, stands ready to be revealed. Prosperity does not chase, it awaits the awakened soul who dares to believe. Many look outside themselves for a sign, but the true sign is an inner stirring, a quiet assurance that everything needed has already been provided. We live in a universe governed by perfect law. There is no lack in the infinite. Lack is but a shadow of doubt in the human mind. The moment that doubt is dissolved, the supply rushes in like a mighty river that has been waiting behind the dam of unbelief. This day, this hour, carries with it a rare and radiant vibration, a vibration that aligns your name with divine increase. It does not beg, it does not plead, it simply, and those who recognize it step boldly into the flow of miraculous provision. The statement is not about numbers in a ledger, it is about recognizing your inheritance in the invisible realm. The outer world is but the echo of the inner decree. When faith speaks, doors open. When belief becomes unshakable, the invisible becomes visible. Your bank account is not merely a vault of figures. It is a reflection of your consciousness of supply. When the divine current touches it, limitation dissolves and increase manifests. Today, the universe sends a message wrapped in simplicity yet charged with power. It is a whisper that bypasses logic and reaches the silent chamber of your heart where infinite abundance resides. Many may hear and dismiss it as ordinary, but to the awakened it is a trumpet of destiny, a signpost pointing to a rare window in time. Not a threat, but a promise. Not a chase, but a recognition. This moment will not return in the same form, for divine timing is like a comet that streaks once through the night sky. Those who lift their gaze see the wonder, those who look away miss its brilliance. The current of supply is moving now, swift and sure, as if heaven itself has arranged this hour with your name engraved upon it. There is no struggle in divine provision, only recognition, alignment, and receipt. Divine timing is the thread woven through every great unfolding in life. It is not a matter of human schedules, not bound by clocks or calendars, but by the precise rhythm of universal law. It moves in silence, unseen yet exact, as if an invisible conductor orchestrates every note of the symphony of your destiny. When divine timing opens rare doors of abundance, it does so not with noise or struggle, but with effortless grace. Many try to force their desires into being through strain, but true manifestation is never born of striving. It is born of alignment. The door opens not because you push, but because the hour has come. There are moments in life when opportunities seem to appear from nowhere, when the impossible bends toward you, when the long-awaited answer arrives without fanfare. These moments are not random. They are the fruit of divine timing ripening on the branch. Every seed has a season to bloom. The tree does not worry about when spring will arrive. It simply trusts the order of the universe. In the same way, when abundance is destined to find you, it arrives exactly when you are ready to receive it, neither a moment too early nor a second too late. Rare doors of abundance do not remain open forever. They are unique alignments, windows through which the river of supply flows at its fullest strength. This is why discernment matters. The soul attuned to the higher rhythm recognizes the opening not with panic, but with quiet certainty. It does not hesitate when the current of divine provision moves. It steps through without doubt because it knows this is the hour prepared long ago. Divine timing is never concerned with appearances. Even when everything in the outer world seems unmoving, the unseen is arranging itself behind the curtain. What appears to be delay is often divine precision. The human mind grows restless when doors do not open on command. But the universe is not moved by impatience, it responds to alignment. Like a master clockmaker, it sets every gear in perfect motion, waiting for the moment when your inner state matches the frequency of the supply prepared for you. When that moment arrives, what seemed difficult becomes effortless. The right conversation happens, the right door swings wide, the right channel of increase flows toward you without resistance. This opening is rare not because abundance is rare, but because alignment is. Many chase opportunities before their season, pulling at doors that have not yet been appointed to open. When the door remains closed, they declare it impossible, unaware that divine timing is simply waiting for their consciousness to mature to the level of receiving. When the inner soil is ready, the seed sprouts overnight. A door that resisted for years can open in a single breath when the appointed moment arrives. There is no accident in divine order. Everything is timed with exquisite accuracy. The delay of yesterday becomes the blessing of today. The missed opportunity becomes the perfect redirection. Divine timing never loses its way, never forgets a promise, never fails to deliver what is destined. It carries your name like a sealed envelope, traveling across the currents of time. When it reaches you, it does not knock twice in the same way. The moment is unique, dressed in a singular vibration that will not repeat itself in precisely the same pattern. The door of abundance opens softly, sometimes almost silently, which is why it is missed by those whose eyes are fixed only on noise and spectacle. Divine timing rarely announces itself with grand displays. It appears as a nudge, a subtle sign, a feeling in the air that something extraordinary is at hand. Those attuned to their inner guidance recognize this whisper. They feel the pull of right action without struggle. They sense that what once felt hard now feels fluid, as if the path itself has smoothed beneath their feet. In these rare openings, abundance flows not as a trickle, but as a flood. It is as if invisible gates have swung open, releasing provision that had been waiting just beyond the veil. You are not required to chase it. You are only required to recognize it and step into it. Divine timing asks for faith, for trust, for the quiet assurance that the universe keeps perfect appointments. It does not rush, but it is never late. It arrives at the exact second that aligns your readiness with its generosity. Abundance is never truly withheld. It waits, like a river behind a dam, for the precise moment when the gate is lifted, and when that gate lifts, all resistance dissolves. Effort ceases to be heavy, opportunities multiply, paths clear themselves. What seemed locked becomes wide open. This is the essence of divine timing. Not a chase, not a struggle, but a merging of your inner readiness with the outer manifestation of provision. Rare doors of abundance are marked by a distinct stillness before they open. It is the quiet before the shift, the pause before the tide turns. If you are sensitive, you can feel this stillness deep within. It is not uncertainty, it is sacred expectancy. It is the moment when heaven leans close, when everything in creation seems to hold its breath as the appointed hour approaches. Those who trust this rhythm do not grow restless in the waiting. They understand that divine timing is never rushed, and they anchor themselves in calm expectation. This opening is not something that can be forced. It must be recognized. It must be received. It must be honored. To try to pry open the door before its time is like trying to pull a rosebud open with your hands. You may tear the petals, but you cannot make it bloom. Yet when the sun touches it at the appointed hour, it blossoms effortlessly. In the same way, divine timing opens doors of abundance with such ease that it humbles the striving mind. The universe remembers every seed you have sown, every act of faith, every quiet moment when you held on to the unseen promise. Nothing is lost. It gathers these moments like pearls on a string, and when the hour comes, they align to form a pathway of manifestation. Divine timing is the invisible bridge between your intention and its physical expression. It is the master key that unlocks doors no human effort could force open. When rare doors of abundance open, the air itself seems charged with a different quality. There is a quickening, a lifting, a lightness. The impossible bends. The improbable becomes inevitable. Things that once seemed to stand against you suddenly rearrange themselves to support your movement. This is not luck. It is law. It is the rhythm of the universe keeping its promise in its own perfect time. Every individual has moments of such openings appointed to them. Some pass through these doors boldly, while others hesitate and let the moment slip by. The key lies in trust. Trust allows the door to meet you halfway. Doubt closes it. Recognition keeps it open long enough for you to step through. The universe does not play hide and seek with abundance. It simply waits for you to be tuned to the same frequency. When divine timing moves, the door is already prepared. The opportunity is not something you must build in the moment. It has been forming in the unseen for far longer than you realize. Every delay, every detour, every quiet season has been shaping you to be able to hold what is now being delivered. You were not waiting for abundance. Abundance was waiting for your readiness. The rare door does not require explanation. It does not demand understanding. It asks only for response. It stands open, glowing with a quiet certainty that this is the hour. It does not shout, yet its presence is undeniable to the spirit that is listening. This is how divine timing works. Softly but powerfully, silently but with absolute authority, aligning heaven and earth in one appointed breath. Faith dissolves lack and activates supply in ways that defy logic but follow the immutable rhythm of divine law. Lack is not a substance, it is an illusion built upon fear, doubt, and the false belief in separation from the infinite source. When faith enters, the illusion begins to unravel like mist under the morning sun. It is not about acquiring something new from the outside. It is about unveiling what has always been waiting within the invisible storehouse of abundance. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is certainty in what cannot yet be seen. A steady knowing that supply already exists and is moving toward you the moment you align with it. Lack grows in the soil of fear. It feeds on anxiety, scarcity thinking, and the constant scanning of the external world for proof of what the inner eye has not yet claimed. It tightens the heart, narrows the vision, and builds invisible walls between you and the flow of good. Faith does the opposite. It loosens the grip of fear. It expands perception. It softens the inner resistance that holds back the river of supply. Faith is not a desperate plea. It is a calm declaration of truth, that provision is not coming from a distant place but is already here, awaiting recognition. When faith takes root, it becomes a magnet for supply. The unseen responds not to struggle, not to panic, but to unwavering trust. Supply is attracted to certainty. It moves toward clarity like iron filings to a magnet. The moment faith speaks, lack loses its anchor. It cannot stand in the presence of spiritual authority. Faith declares abundance, even in the midst of apparent emptiness. It is the candle that refuses to be extinguished by the winds of circumstance. While fear counts the coins in the purse, faith counts the endless riches of the invisible. Every wall of lack is built brick by brick through repeated belief in limitation. Every brick can be dissolved through a single act of unwavering faith. The human mind often says, "I will believe when I see," but faith whispers, "You will see because you have believed." The outer world bends itself around the vibration you hold. When faith becomes the dominant vibration, the outer conditions cannot help but rearrange themselves to match that frequency. Lack does not have the power to resist faith. It only lingers where faith has not been fully claimed. Supply does not sleep. It is not absent. It waits at the door like sunlight outside a closed curtain. The curtain is not reality, it is belief. When faith draws the curtain open, supply pours in effortlessly. People often chase resources as if they were scarce jewels scattered far away. But true faith understands that the source is infinite. It is not about creating supply. It is about allowing it to flow. The more one struggles in fear, the tighter the flow becomes. The more one rests in faith, the wider the channel opens. Faith does not ignore circumstances, it overrides them. It looks directly at what seems like emptiness and sees fullness. It observes what appears to be lack and declares supply. Faith is not naive optimism. It is a spiritual force that rewrites the script of reality. It does not wait for permission, it acts as though abundance is already present, and in doing so it draws it into tangible form. Every great unfolding begins with this invisible shift, an inner acceptance that what is desired is already secured. Lack creates noise. It makes the mind restless, running in circles, whispering stories of not enough. Faith brings silence, a stillness that cannot be shaken. In that stillness, the doors of provision open. Lack says, I must make it happen. Faith says, it is already done. This difference in tone is everything. The moment faith takes the lead, opportunities that once seemed distant begin to draw near. People appear. Paths unfold. Ideas surface. The outer world begins to echo the inner certainty. Supply is intelligent. It does not flow randomly, it follows the current of belief. A fearful mind repels it like oil repels water. A faithful mind welcomes it like soil welcomes rain. Faith is not loud. It does not need to shout to be heard. It moves quietly, but its power is absolute. It stands in the face of seeming impossibility and smiles, because it knows that lack is a temporary shadow. Shadows disappear in the presence of light. Faith is that light. The moment faith dissolves lack, the atmosphere changes. The same situation that once felt heavy suddenly feels full of possibility. The same bank account that seemed small becomes a vessel through which greater supply begins to flow. The outer world reflects not what is true, but what is believed. Faith changes the inner picture, and the outer image follows like a reflection in a mirror. Lack often clings because the human mind builds its identity around it. It believes in the story of not enough. Faith shatters that story without force. It simply replaces it with a greater truth. Lack has no foundation of its own. It borrows strength from the belief of the one who entertains it. When that belief shifts, lack collapses. It cannot stand on its own. Faith is not measured by loud declarations, but by quiet certainty. It is the calm assurance that when the outer world is empty, the inner vault is full. It is not swayed by appearances. It is not discouraged by delays. Faith understands that supply is never late, never lost, and never limited. It walks in the awareness that abundance is a state of being, not a chase. When this awareness becomes real, the invisible becomes visible with astonishing speed. The world may say that resources are scarce, but faith knows that the universe holds infinite storehouses. It does not matter how circumstances appear. Faith does not shrink before numbers. It does not bow to statistics. It does not tremble before locked doors. It simply speaks the language of abundance until the doors respond. The language of faith is power because it aligns with universal law. When fear and faith meet, fear is loud but weak. Faith is quiet but unshakable. It does not fight fear. It simply stands in truth until fear dissolves. And as fear dissolves, the flow of supply is activated. Supply does not require permission to flow. It requires a channel. Faith is that channel. The moment the inner channel is clear, the outer flow begins. Lack tries to convince you that you must earn supply, chase it, beg for it. Faith knows you were born with access to it. It is not about deserving. It is about recognizing. This recognition turns a locked gate into an open door. Faith carries the key not because it forces the lock, but because it was always meant to fit. There are moments when faith is tested, when the outer world seems to speak only in the language of lack. These are the moments when faith reveals its strength. It does not falter, it deepens. It holds the vision steady when the evidence is thin. It stands guard over the mind, refusing to allow doubt to build new walls. The moment faith holds its ground, the storm passes, and the flow resumes stronger than before. The power of faith does not depend on numbers, status, or circumstance. It depends only on belief. Even the smallest spark of true faith can dissolve mountains of lack. It is not the size of faith that matters, but its purity. When it is free of fear, even a whisper of faith moves unseen forces into motion. Supply is drawn to faith the way rivers are drawn to the sea. It recognizes the vibration of certainty and rushes to meet it. Faith does not chase after resources, it summons them. It does not wander in confusion, it stands in clarity. And as it stands, the universe rearranges itself to deliver what was already destined. The dance between faith and lack is an ancient one, but it always ends the same way. Faith does not need to fight, it simply shines. Lack, having no substance of its own, fades in that light. And as it fades, the flow of supply, which was never gone, becomes visible, tangible, abundant. Prosperity aligns with inner belief, not chance, for chance is a shadow without substance, while belief is the sculptor of reality. The outer world is not a realm of random blessings or unpredictable favors, but a mirror held up to the inner convictions of the soul. Prosperity does not fall upon some and not others by whim or accident. It follows the invisible lines drawn by what one accepts as true within. Every open door, every flow of abundance, every unexpected gift carries the fingerprint of belief. Belief is not a faint hope or passing thought. It is a foundation, a steady frequency that instructs the universe on what to deliver. Chance suggests chaos, but prosperity moves according to law. It is governed by invisible principles as precise as any physical law. Just as gravity does not randomly lift or drop objects, prosperity does not randomly bless or bypass. It aligns with those who believe in its presence, its constancy, and its certainty. When inner belief is anchored, prosperity flows like water finding its level. It does not struggle to find you. It recognizes its own reflection in your conviction. People often look at prosperity as though it were an unpredictable visitor arriving unannounced, blessing one and ignoring another. This illusion comes from looking outward before turning inward. The outer world is only ever an echo. If the belief held within is that prosperity is uncertain, then life will echo uncertainty. If the belief is that prosperity is constant and faithful, then the echo will carry constancy and faithfulness. The universe does not argue, it reflects. It does not invent on your behalf, it mirrors the image you present. Inner belief is the architect of your experience. It lays down the invisible blueprint upon which the structure of your life is built. Prosperity is not constructed by chance meetings or random opportunities. It is summoned and shaped by the architecture of conviction. When you believe with certainty that prosperity is your rightful inheritance, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to match that certainty. Doors open not because they are forced, but because belief has already unlocked them long before you arrive. The person who lives by chance looks at the world with a restless gaze, waiting for fortune to smile. But the one who lives by inner belief walks with quiet assurance, knowing fortune is already within. Chance creates hesitation, a sense of waiting for something external to align. Belief creates momentum, a movement born from the knowing that alignment has already occurred in the unseen. When this shift happens, prosperity ceases to be a distant possibility and becomes a living presence. Prosperity cannot dwell where the belief in lack dominates. It does not flow toward a mind that distrusts its own worthiness. It responds to confidence, to unwavering acceptance of abundance as a natural state. This is not arrogance, but harmony with universal law. The river flows where the channel is open. Belief is the channel. Doubt is the dam. Chance plays no part in this equation. Prosperity does not favor some and abandon others. It flows where it is allowed. Inner belief carries a frequency that prosperity recognizes. It is a silent language spoken between the soul and the unseen supply. You do not need to shout your worthiness or plead for blessings. Prosperity is drawn to certainty like light to a flame. When you believe fully, The outer circumstances cannot resist the pull of that vibration. People appear at the right time, opportunities align, paths clear themselves, not because luck has smiled, but because belief has already claimed the outcome. Chance is a fragile foundation. It gives and it takes, leaving the heart unstable. Belief, however, is unshakable. It is the ground beneath your feet, the inner compass pointing to the inevitable flow of good. Those who rely on chance live in cycles of hope and disappointment. Those who stand in belief live in cycles of expansion and unfolding. The difference is not in their external environment, but in the unseen conviction that shapes it. Prosperity does not require elaborate rituals or perfect timing. It requires alignment. It listens to the tone of your inner conversation, the silent agreements you've made with yourself about what is possible and what is not. If that conversation is clouded with doubt, the signal is weak and the flow is hesitant. But when that conversation is clear and steady, prosperity responds with speed and precision. Belief has a quiet strength that does not waver with appearances. When the outer world seems empty, belief does not collapse. It holds the line. It knows that prosperity is not dependent on what the eyes can see. It is rooted in the unseen. Chance would call it luck if a door suddenly opened. Belief calls it law. It recognizes that what is showing up is simply the reflection of what has already been claimed within. When prosperity aligns with belief, timing becomes fluid. What once felt delayed arrives at the perfect hour. What seemed distant draws near effortlessly. Belief does not chase prosperity around corners. It stands still, knowing prosperity must arrive because the law cannot deny its own pattern. Chance may stumble upon good fortune, but belief commands it, not with force, but with unspoken certainty. Many spend their lives hoping prosperity will find them if they are lucky enough, worthy enough, or at the right place at the right time. But prosperity is not a fleeting visitor. It is an ever-present flow, waiting for permission to enter. That permission is granted through inner belief. The moment belief solidifies, prosperity enters without resistance. It is not delayed, for it was never gone. It simply awaited the signal of unwavering acceptance. Inner belief does not need proof before it believes. It believes first, and proof follows. This is where chance fades and law begins. Those who wait for outer signs before believing are like farmers waiting for a harvest without ever planting a seed. Belief plants, prosperity grows, chance wanders, belief builds. Prosperity is loyal to belief. It follows it faithfully, like a river to the sea. It does not question your worth. It responds to your certainty. When belief whispers yes, the universe answers yes. When belief wavers, the flow wavers. The power has always been within, never in the dice roll of chance. This is why two people can stand in the same circumstance and experience entirely different realities. One sees scarcity because their belief is anchored in limitation. The other sees opportunity because their belief is anchored in abundance. The outer conditions are identical, but the outcomes are worlds apart. Prosperity answers to belief, not environment. The language of chance is uncertainty. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. The language of belief is absolute. It is already mine. Prosperity hears the second language clearly. It moves towards certainty because certainty aligns with universal law. There is no randomness in this movement. There is only response. Inner belief is a quiet but unbreakable command. It does not demand through desperation, it invites through authority. It is not swayed by statistics, circumstances, or temporary appearances. It stands firm, and prosperity bends to its frequency. When inner belief aligns fully with the idea of prosperity as natural, the struggle dissolves. There is no waiting for the right moment, the right person, the right break. The moment itself becomes right because belief has already said it so. Chance fades into the background like fog burned away by the sun. Prosperity does not arrive as a stranger. It rises from within as something that was always yours. Belief and prosperity are companions walking in step. Where one goes, the other follows. Chance stands outside, uncertain, watching from a distance. But belief opens the door wide, and prosperity enters without hesitation. It is not a game of luck. It is the unfolding of a law too perfect to falter. Those who choose to root their lives in belief rather than chance move differently. They do not chase opportunities, they attract them. They do not fear uncertainty, they command clarity. Prosperity recognizes this posture and responds not as a gift, but as a reflection. It mirrors the inner certainty that called it forth, just as surely as the sun reflects in still water. Prosperity aligns with inner belief, because belief is the signal, the command, the unseen law that shapes every visible outcome. Chance is a whisper in the wind. Belief is the foundation beneath the mountain. The universe listens not to hesitation, but to conviction. It moves not in randomness, but in response to certainty. Recognition is the key to receiving, because what is not recognized cannot be claimed, and what is not claimed remains as potential, hovering just beyond the threshold of manifestation. The universe does not withhold, it offers. It lays its treasures before those who have the eyes to see and the heart to acknowledge. Recognition is not a mere glance of the mind, but a deep inner acknowledgement that abundance is present, available, and already aligned with your path. Many stand in fields of opportunity yet see nothing because their eyes are fixed on lack. They wait for signs while standing in the very sign they seek. Recognition opens the door that has always been there, silently waiting to be noticed. Receiving begins long before anything arrives in the physical world. It begins in the unseen, in the quiet decision to recognize what is already yours in principle. Recognition does not beg. It does not plead. It says, "This is mine by divine law, and I accept it." It transforms invisible supply into visible form by the simple act of awareness. Without recognition, abundance walks past unnoticed, like a messenger whose words fall on closed ears. With recognition, the same abundance becomes real, tangible, undeniable. The world is full of blessings waiting to be claimed, not hidden treasures buried far away, but rivers flowing beside those who walk through life. Recognition is the act of opening your hands and saying yes to what has already been offered. It is not about asking the universe to create something new, but about realizing that the provision is already in motion. Lack is often not the absence of supply, but the absence of recognition. Many believe that receiving is about action alone, but it is first about awareness. The one who recognizes abundance begins to move differently. Their steps are lighter. Their words carry authority. They no longer operate from the energy of waiting. They operate from the energy of possessing. Recognition shifts the vibration of a person from hoping to knowing, from seeking to welcoming. The outer world responds accordingly, because the outer is merely the echo of the inner state. Recognition is like turning on a light in a darkened room. The furniture was always there. The light only makes it visible. Prosperity, opportunities, and divine provision exist in the same way. They do not appear out of nowhere when recognized. They are revealed. Recognition removes the veil of disbelief, allowing the eyes to see clearly. Many have prayed for abundance while standing in its presence, unaware that their own lack of recognition has kept it out of reach. To recognize is to claim, and to claim is to receive. Recognition is not a frantic grasping, but a serene acceptance. It is the deep knowing that there is no shortage, no distant future moment required, no gatekeeper to persuade. It acknowledges that the flow of supply is constant, like air waiting to be breathed. Those who live in a state of recognition walk through life differently. They do not fear missed opportunities because they understand that what is aligned with them cannot pass them by unnoticed when they are fully awake to it. The mind often looks for dramatic signs, but recognition often whispers rather than shouts. It comes in quiet moments of clarity, in subtle nudges, in gentle certainty. It does not depend on external confirmations. It arises from the inner place that knows abundance is not a visitor, but a resident. When this recognition takes root, circumstances rearrange themselves to reflect it. The invisible shifts first. The visible follows like a shadow. Receiving requires space, and recognition creates that space. A clenched hand cannot receive, but an open one can. A mind cluttered with doubt cannot perceive what is standing before it. Recognition clears away the noise, making room for what is already moving toward you. This is why those who practice recognition do not chase opportunities, they allow them. They do not demand, they accept. They do not wait for evidence, they see through the veil of appearances. Recognition is not passive. It is a powerful act of claiming authority over your reality. It declares that abundance is present here and now, not at some distant point. It shifts your inner atmosphere from emptiness to fullness. The more clearly you recognize, the more the universe mirrors that clarity back to you. What once seemed scarce begins to multiply, not because it was created in that moment, but because you finally allowed yourself to see it. The law of recognition operates quietly, yet it governs receiving with precision. Those who walk through life blind to their own worth and their own inheritance may unknowingly step over treasures. Opportunities can present themselves again and again, but until they are recognized, they remain as invisible as air to a closed window. Recognition opens that window, letting the breeze of abundance flow in effortlessly. People often believe that abundance must come from some dramatic, far-off source, but recognition shows that provision often stands beside you in familiar forms. The same conversation, the same resource, the same idea may have been present for years, waiting for you to look at it with new eyes. When recognition occurs, ordinary moments become doorways, and overlooked details become channels of supply. Recognition is a language the universe understands. When you speak it, everything that belongs to you begins to respond. It does not require shouting your desires into the void. It requires quietly affirming what is already true. A person who recognizes does not ask whether abundance exists. They simply open their hands to receive it. They walk into rooms expecting favor, not because they are entitled, but because they understand the law. Recognition strengthens faith. It anchors your belief in the reality of unseen supply. It trains your mind to look for evidence of abundance rather than lack. When the mind looks for lack, it finds it everywhere. When the mind looks for abundance, it discovers it in places it never thought to search. Recognition is a lens, and what you see through that lens determines the shape of your reality. To recognize abundance, you must first allow the noise of fear and doubt to quiet. Doubt blinds. Fear narrows vision. Recognition requires clarity. It is not born from struggle but from stillness. It is the moment when the heart stops questioning whether good is available and begins to accept that it has always been near. Recognition is the silent bridge between desire and manifestation. It is the spark that turns thought into form. Desire alone can remain suspended in possibility for years, but the moment you recognize it as already yours, something shifts. The current begins to flow. Recognition removes the invisible walls built by hesitation, allowing abundance to move freely into your life. Every answered prayer, every door opened, every moment of unexpected provision carries within it an earlier moment of recognition. Even if subtle, it was there, the quiet moment when the soul said yes. Recognition may not always feel dramatic, but it is always powerful. It creates an invisible agreement between you and the flow of life. Abundance is impartial. It flows to those who recognize it. It does not favor one over another, it responds to awareness. If the eyes are closed, it waits. If the eyes are open, it floods in like sunlight through a window. Recognition is the key that turns possibility into experience, that transforms unseen potential into tangible reality. When recognition becomes a daily posture rather than a rare moment, life itself begins to shift. You start to notice opportunities that were always around you. You see connections where once there seemed to be gaps. You sense flow where once there was resistance. Recognition turns waiting into receiving, doubt into assurance, distance into nearness. The act of recognition is simple, yet it carries immeasurable power. It is the quiet yes that the universe hears clearly. It requires no grand gestures, no elaborate rituals. It requires openness, awareness, and acceptance. The treasures of life are not hidden in distant places. They rest in plain sight, awaiting recognition. The universe is a generous giver, but it waits for acknowledgement before it places its gifts into your hands. This moment carries a once-in-a-lifetime vibration, because time itself is not just a sequence of passing hours, but a living rhythm that holds within it rare and powerful alignments. There are certain moments that are unlike any other. They come quietly, often without announcement, carrying a frequency so distinct that it cannot be duplicated. These moments are not accidents. They are appointments made in the invisible, long before the mind became aware of them. To recognize them is to stand at a divine intersection where the seen and the unseen meet. The vibration of such a moment is not loud, but it is undeniable. It hums beneath the surface of ordinary life, waiting for those who are sensitive enough to feel it. A once-in-a-lifetime vibration is not about scarcity, it is about uniqueness. It is a frequency that appears only once in its exact form, carrying a signature that belongs to this precise point in time. Just as no two sunrises are identical, no two divine moments are ever the same. Even if the conditions seem familiar, the energy carried within them is unlike anything that came before or will come again. When such a vibration is present, the air itself feels different. The mind quiets, the heart stirs, and something within whispers that this is not an ordinary hour. Most people rush through their days without pausing long enough to feel these subtle yet powerful shifts. They are so accustomed to the noise of routine that they overlook the quiet frequency of divine timing. But the soul that listens, the one attuned to the rhythm beneath the rhythm, can sense it. It knows when a rare alignment is unfolding. This moment holds doors that were not open yesterday and will not be open tomorrow in the same way. It is not about pressure or urgency. It is about clarity and awareness. When this vibration arrives, everything aligns in a way that defies logic but feels entirely natural. Obstacles that once felt solid seem to soften. Paths that were hidden reveal themselves as though they were waiting for your steps. People appear at just the right time. Opportunities seem to flow without force. This is the signature of a once-in-a-lifetime vibration, not chaos, but elegant orchestration. It is the feeling that something larger than you is at work, weaving threads together in perfect precision. Such moments are not created by human effort alone. They are intersections of readiness and divine orchestration. They carry a power that cannot be replicated because they are built on layers of timing, preparation, and unseen design. Everything you have experienced, every step you have taken, every delay and detour leads to these moments. They are the culmination of unseen forces aligning behind the scenes, waiting for the precise second when everything fits into place. The vibration of a rare moment is not about loud signs or grand gestures. Often it is soft, almost like a breath of wind against your skin. You feel it rather than see it. It is a stillness that carries weight, a quiet that feels full, a sense that the ordinary rules are suspended and that something greater is near. Those who are awake to this frequency know it instantly. They do not need explanations. They simply feel it in their bones. It is in these rare moments that the veil between intention and manifestation becomes thin. The distance between desire and reality shortens. The effort that once felt heavy becomes light, and what once seemed far away feels as if it has always belonged to you. The vibration carries with it an invitation, an unspoken message that this is the hour to step forward, to claim, to align, to receive. It is not a demand, but a gentle opening, a window through which destiny leans close. Many people miss these moments not because they are not present, but because they are not listening. They are waiting for something grand, overlooking the quiet. But the once-in-a-lifetime vibration rarely shouts. It is refined, precise, and elegant. It does not beg for attention, it reveals itself to the one who is ready. Readiness is not about perfection. It is about stillness, awareness, and trust. When the heart is still enough, the vibration becomes unmistakable. In these moments, there is no need for force. The universe does not push, it flows. Resistance fades like mist in the morning sun. This is the natural rhythm of divine alignment. When you stand inside this frequency, everything feels as if it is meeting you halfway. Opportunities do not need to be chased. They arrive with ease. What was once complicated becomes simple, not because the world has changed, but because the vibration has opened the right doors. The once-in-a-lifetime vibration does not mean you will never experience blessings again. It means this particular configuration, this exact combination of elements, will never return in the same way. Just as no moment can be repeated, no vibration can be duplicated. It is unique in its texture, its timing, its resonance. To meet it with awareness is to stand at the edge of a miracle. To overlook it is to let a rare current pass quietly by. It is in these moments that destiny often makes its quietest entrances, not with the noise of a crowd, but with the whisper of precision. It does not need to announce itself. Its presence is felt like the shift in the air before a storm, subtle, yet absolute. Those who trust their intuition, who follow the quiet pull rather than the loud distractions, recognize these rare openings. They do not hesitate, for they understand the weight of this particular now. This vibration carries its own language. It speaks not to the ears but to the heart. It does not ask questions like when or how. It simply states, "This is the hour." In that space, doubt loses its grip, because the feeling is stronger than any argument the mind can create. It is not about convincing yourself. It is about acknowledging what is already happening beneath the surface of ordinary perception. The once-in-a-lifetime vibration carries a sense of inevitability. It feels like the moment has been waiting for you as much as you have been waiting for it. Everything converges, the past, the present, the hidden preparations. It is the intersection where what you have become meets what has been prepared. It is a mirror, showing you not just what is possible, but what has already been set in motion. When this vibration appears, there is no need to force doors open. They are already ajar. All that is required is recognition and response, a soft yes, a quiet step forward. The moment does not demand loudness, it asks for presence. It is not about doing more, it is about being attuned enough to step into what is already unfolding. The vibration carries a sense of expansion. The air feels lighter, the world seems wider, possibilities stretch beyond their usual boundaries. It is as if time itself pauses for a breath, giving you a chance to align fully with what has been waiting. You sense that if you reach out your hand, the universe will meet you, not because of luck, but because the rhythm is right. There is no formula to summon these moments. They cannot be manufactured. They are not rewards but alignments, arising when inner readiness meets divine orchestration. All you can do is be awake enough to recognize them, quiet enough to hear them, and brave enough to step through them. They are not fleeting tricks of fate but carefully woven threads in the tapestry of your life. Every person encounters these vibrations, though not everyone realizes their presence. Some rush past, wrapped in distraction. Others pause and feel the shift. Those who recognize it often look back later and say, "It was as if everything changed in a single breath," not because something was created from nothing, but because everything finally aligned. This vibration is not loud, but it is powerful. It is subtle, but it reshapes destinies. It carries the weight of invisible preparation, the momentum of what has been building quietly behind the scenes. It is not about chance. It is not about luck. It is the moment when the pattern hidden beneath time reveals itself in perfect clarity, waiting for the soul awake enough to say yes.